I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Ground like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that it's Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side. Worldwide, we in your city. That sounds fine. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle and get
In any metric, Coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson in your
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, man. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
What up? The real Coach JB here, man, for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We are proud to announce we have a new ad sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports DFS platform in North America. We are one of the easiest and most exciting ways to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. PrizePicks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. How does it work, you ask? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you will win. Players can choose from a vast selection of sports and stat types not offered anywhere else. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes college football. We're about to start up. Pro hockey, pro basketball, pro football. NFL season is here. Plus pro baseball, pro golf, men's college basketball, NCAA tournament, plus women's college basketball, soccer, women's pro basketball, esports, pro car racing, tennis, MMA, boxing, disc golf, you name it, we got it. Short, fat, skinny, and tall, PrizePicks does it all. And I just got to be honest, dog. I started doing PrizePicks and I won instantly. And that's why I am endorsing PrizePicks to the fullest right here on the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Go to prizepicks.com/Coach JB and use Coach JB as the promo code for a first deposit match up to $100. So go to prizepicks.com/Coach JB and use code Coach JB for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks is the best betting app online in North America. Go get it and do what Coach JB and Big Smitty does every day. We bet PrizePicks. Head on over there, prizepicks.com/Coach JB and get you $100 match right now. Appreciate you. Peace.
PrizePicks, baby, PrizePicks. What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Big Smitty, right here, rocking the LFT. Live for today. Go get your merch. And welcome to the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. And it wouldn't be the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty without the one and only living legend himself, Coach JB. Bring him on the show. What's going on, JB? Can you hear me? Oh, he got the bling on?
You know what I'm ashamed? Man. You know what I'm ashamed about?
What?
Well, there's a few things. It says Indy on it, and it ain't Naptown.
Man,
anyway,
you gonna make me leave? You gonna make me go grab my rings real quick? You keep trying to flex. You make me grab my ring real quick. Keep trying to flex.
What up? Hey, we got a lot to discuss. I gotta eat crow. here's the thing. So we broke some news yesterday, and I wanted to get to it. This is the shit that I hate social media about, and this is why I hate jumping the gun. And I got to be honest, I'm ashamed to be here today. I'm ashamed in front of you like this fucking viral video going around about me talking about I'm ashamed to be your head coach. Well, I'm ashamed to be the Coach JB show guy that said yesterday talked about the kids that stole the Colorado jewelry. Now, all that was true, and there was some truth to it, but here's what wasn't accurate that we reported. So we got to come in, and I got to come out first of all and basically tell everybody this is why I hate being part of what now we're media members. Apparently, that's what we are now, Big Smitty, I guess, in a low key way. But the problem is, I'm so against jumping the gun. I always say that shit. I'm always talking about recency bias. I'm always talking about fucking putting your foot in your mouth, making sure it's accurate. I've never met the people. Don't talk about them if you don't know them. All that shit. So I refuse to be a hypocrite. And I had a long talk with some people involved. And so here's what the truth is. Okay. So the truth is there were no arrests. There were 2 suspensions. Everything we said was accurate as far as where it was, who it was, and all that. But there were 2 suspensions, 0 arrests, an investigation. And the coach and the admin is what, we need to come up here and regretfully inform everybody that we were completely wrong. It was moronic to say prior to knowing actually all the ins and outs and the facts, which I took from another coach that I knew, and he was inaccurate. And I usually would call the head coach or the AD or somebody that I knew there and talk to him, which I didn't. And I'm ashamed to do it because that's the first thing you do, especially in this profession that you've built up with the camaraderie that we've built up, especially with the people I know there. And I spent a long time eating crow with him yesterday on the phone. With Pat was next to me the whole time driving around. And I'm like, man, I can't be more ashamed and embarrassed. I said, so it's on me. I own it. I own it all day long. That's what grown folks do. There were no arrests. There were 2 suspensions. There was an investigation going on, and there was not alignment. It was not alignment either. So we got 3 different things that were told to me that were wrong, and the gist of the story and everything is correct, but not the people involved, and there were no arrests. So Beaumont High School administration, principal, coaches, everybody involved, we were incorrect with what we said, and that is all on me as the Coach JB show representative. So Big Smitty had nothing to do with it. I broke the news. It was on me, and so I've ate crow and talked to those people involved, and it's irresponsible reporting, which is shit that I hate and talk about all the time. And so I'll tell you this, I'll never do it again until I talk to the horse's mouth and get it from them. So everything we said was pretty close to being accurate except for who was involved, and there were 0 arrests. So there were no arrests at Beaumont High School. There were a few suspensions as an investigation goes around. Sometimes good kids do dumb shit, and sometimes there are bad kids that do dumb shit. We call those shitbirds. Obviously, that was inaccurate on our part, on my part. So I want to come out and say that so everybody out there understands it. And that's why we got Coach JB was wrong on the damn thumbnail. And so I want to make sure that, I was clear on that. So, we broke the news on who took it, but the kids actually involved were inaccurate, and there's still an investigation going on.
Well, hey, man, respect to you, man. As a man, most people wouldn't do that. Most people would just go ahead and keep moving like nothing happened and wouldn't even say anything. So you start the whole show off with the admittance of wrong.
Yeah, I hope we can cut that, Bailey, cut that so I can send it to the people involved, because that was that's just embarrassing on my part. I hate that shit, Big Smitty. I hate doing it because it happens to me every day.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, why? I was just like, when I got the text and I got the call, I was in a meeting, I got the call, and then I got the text, and I'm like, I put my foot in my mouth, huh? And he goes, just call me. So I go, fuck. So I called him and we talked. But there's such great dudes over there that, like, fuck, you couldn't even tell they were pissed, but I'd be pissed.
Right. Now I feel you, man. You know, it happens, man. It happened. Like I was like, your intentions were pure. It wasn't like you intended to go out there and misinform. Like you said, it wasn't like the whole entire thing was wrong. Just a few of the details within it was wrong. So we got to clear it up. You talk to the coaches, everything's smooth. That's to me is being a man. You know what I'm saying? Admitting when you're wrong and you know, talking through it and moving on. Nowadays, you know, not my generation, people younger than me, they would have tried to just text the whole situation or send an email out or just avoided it altogether. You know what I mean? Y'all actually got on the phone, talked, discussed, admitted, and moved on, man. So we here today, man, live. Almost got 500 people in 12 minutes, so we should have about 500 likes, but I don't think we do yet. You know what I'm saying? I think we got like 50 likes right now.
On 3 on me, can we pound the like? Can we get 500 likes right now on 3?
Let's do it.
I owned up. Can y'all own up and pound the like?
Come on now. Let's all own up today.
On 3 on me. 1, 2, 3. Pound the like.
Right now.
We should have 456 likes right now.
Like this. Quick.
Why don't we have 456 likes right now?
Because Mark ain't liked yet. Kid Puggy haven't hit the like yet. I can see y'all when y'all don't like it. I can see M just liked it. Okay, I see that. Gene, here we go. Yeah, here we go, Gene. Hit the like button, Gene. Billy Gene. Come on now.
Bree Black hit it. We know Bree Black hit it.
Come on now. Bree Black, double B. But we got a loaded show today, man. It is T Rich Thursdays. He'll be on before you know it. I got Steve Kim going to hop on later on today. And JB, I know you got I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm pretty sure you got a quote of the day today, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, I got him I got him. You know what I'm saying? I got him.
It's right there.
Let's do this. Since I owned up.
Okay. And
we fucked up. We talked up through our side of our mouth. Quote of the day brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAB. Get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Last night I bet on it, dog, and I bet a 6-game parlay on BetOnline for some pretty decent amount of cheese.
Ooh.
Guess who fucked me?
Who? LeBron?
Your fucking Lakers.
Oh, what happened? My Lakers are our Lakers.
Our Lakers. Fuck. I mean, getting ran out the building by Houston?
Yeah, they got their ass beat bad. Dylan Brooks was in line, I guess.
Correction is not criticism. Just to understand you're clear with that. Correction is not criticism. A lot of people thought I was cussing people out just for shits and giggles. No, correction is not criticism. It gets loud in there. It gets loud when you're correcting some folks. Y'all think it's criticism. No, it's correction. I'm just correcting you so you don't do it again. Like when the dog pisses and you rub their nose in it tomorrow, guess what? Don't mean nothing. You got to do it right now. Yeah. So anyway, correction is not criticism. Make sure you guys understand that, especially all you coaches in the world.
It's real.
Let's get to brass tacks. We'll start with this Laker thing, even though we're talking about this prime and this jewelry stuff and all this stuff that's going on. Basketball, we weren't going to get into it too much yet, but I got to be honest. Booker didn't play again last night, dressed up like Ice Cube on Boys in the Hood. He got the Detroit Tiger hat on. He's in a Dickie suit and portraying as if, I don't know if you know Booker or see what he does, rolls up to work in every day. Have you seen what he rolls
like
up?
The drop top.
Rolls up in a low, drove at a 6'4", rolls up in a fucking Continental with suicides. All what we call gangster whips. Let's just keep it real.
Right.
So if perception is reality, motherfucker rolls up in all these type of whips, which I'm kudos. I would have those whips too. Then the motherfucker came out in a Dickie suit yesterday, looking like straight doughboy in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
But you don't play? Hold up, though. You portraying as like a gangster, and you ain't even playing. By the way, he made about 850 clicks last night, 850K. And again, that's what he makes a night, and hadn't played but what, 3 games this year? Twice. No, he played 2 games this year. Bradley Beal finally played. He only got 190 mil, and this was his first game. I'm confused, dog. I really am. I thought this was the load management year where you get fined and all this type of shit.
Yeah, but there's no way for them to really manage that.
You know, we got more misses this year already than we had combined last year in the first 20 games, right?
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I'm not surprised, though. It just, how can you really put a rule together that manages that? Because all the teams are going to say is, oh, he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I'm not saying neither one of them like weren't hurt. Bill hasn't played all season until last night, so I think Bill did have like a little something with his back. The Booker situation, I don't know what's going on with Booker, but my thing is, like, no way to manage that.
Big Smitty, like, think about this. Bill hasn't played in 2 fucking years. He has been off for how long? How long is his fucking back supposed to heal up? Hasn't he just been off since fucking June? By the way, it's only November.
But I'm saying shit happens at practice. Like, for example, Draymond had a high ankle sprain right before the season started. So Draymond missed games. It's not like these guys are still hooping all throughout the offseason by themselves with their team. So shit can, just like I got fucking hurt at practice. Like, shit happens at practice. It's not just the games.
By the way, Bill's had this ailing injury since he was at Washington, dog.
Yeah. So maybe.
Another cat. Listen, Pat loves Bradley Beal. Pat knows him. Jordan guys, they golf together. Ashley, his wife, is cool with Bradley's wife.
Good dude, too. Everything I hear is like hard worker, tough, like all that.
He real. He get after kids, tells them how soft the kids
that's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't
soft.
soft.
I'm not. So here's my issue with this. It's not Bradley Beal. If you're injured or you're really injured, that's what it is.
Right.
We paid him 190 though. I can't fathom what these owners are continuing to do to the fan bases that continue to pay their salaries that don't get the product. I'm not tripping on how good of a dude he is and all that, and he kind of aligns with my mentals. Cool, I love it. But dog, results are results. The fans are paying your salary and you're not playing. And we just double up and paid your ass 190. I don't know how the Suns are paying all these dudes. We're looking at the game last night. Pat and I are watching it because, he watches the local teams here. And you got Bradley, you got Booker, you got KD. I mean, fuck, like 600 mil right there.
But after that, everybody else is like 4 million, 3 million, too. Everybody else is like super low.
I get it. There's no recipe for winning right here. I'm just saying right now. And I see the same thing in the Clippers.
I watched the Clippers last night too.
Harden throwing balls in the third fucking row.
But in all fairness, obviously we're Lakers fans, so we don't like the Clippers. But in all fairness, though, they just got together. So like that's going to we have not seen the best version of what that team is going to be yet. They're trying to figure it out. I'm seeing Kawhi in the corner not even touch the rock. Like they're trying to they gotta figure it out.
Again, dog. You know how long I've been hearing that shit about the Clippers? Fucking 47 years. Benoit Benjamin. Well, we got the team this year. Benoit Benjamin. We got Kenny Norman. We got fucking Pooh Richardson. And then we got Danny Manning. Dog, Marcellus Wiley, my homie. Where you at? I've been hearing the Clippers as the fucking team to beat for 47 years. Y'all motherfuckers ain't even been to a finals yet. What are you talking about, Big Smitty? How often? When are we going to just say the Clippers are the JV team? They don't have a banner. You can talk about beating the Lakers 11 straight times, blah, blah, blah. In the regular season, guess what? Regular season don't put those on your fucking finger, homie. I'm trying to figure out, when are we going to just say this is the Clippers, dog? They should be on the cover of Madden every year.
The Madden curse?
Yeah, they should be on the cover of John Madden football every year as the Clippers. That's who they are. Westbrook, Harden. Let me go get to Kawhi. He load man. He play. Fucking, what's his name gets hurt? Paul George. Paul George gets hurt. Dog,
They loaded though, JB. They loaded, man. If they figure that shit out though, it's gonna be dangerous for real.
No, they ain't.
If they figure it out, JB,
They ain't gonna figure it out. That's the thing. They're not gonna figure it out.
Lob City almost figured it out when Chris Paul and Blake Griffin was there. They got close. They made some noise. Yeah. They made some noise.
James Harden will get hurt again. He'll be done soon. He'll be on another team. Kawhi will get hurt. I mean, it is what it is. They're the Clippers, dog. They're too old. That team's old as fuck. People don't want to realize they're all this high big time scoring capabilities and all capabilities. They're not gonna do it. They're too old. They're way past their prime, in my opinion. Kawhi's age literally in front of our face ×5 in the last 3 years and hasn't played a lot of games. They are all damaged goods. I think they're just rotting at the core. I would have never got the James Harden deal. He's out there looking like his confidence is shot. There's just no way. It doesn't work. I wouldn't have paid these guys. I don't get it. But going back to Bradley Beal, $190 million, ain't played in 2 years. He might be damaged goods, but we're paying these dudes, and I don't see it. The basketball world right now is a bad product. I'm watching right now. I haven't watched, but I'm seeing all these bits and pieces. We've watched little clips of games. Basketball is bad right now. Are the Ball brothers playing finally?
Lonzo's not playing yet. LaMelo's been playing and looking pretty good.
Who else? Who else I've been watching? Who else I see?
And by the way, Bill played. He didn't play a lot, but he played 50 games last year. So he wasn't like just sit out the whole entire year not doing nothing. He played 50 games, averaged 23 points. You know, like he had a solid year. But yeah, only 50. But honestly, though, I know it sounds crazy, but if you play 50 to 60, that's almost like the norm now, even when you're not hurt. So like it's almost right around the ballpark. So
can we just cut to brass tacks here?
Please do. Let's cut to it.
Darvin Ham looks like he's over his head. I'm gonna be honest. He looks like he sold this dream to everybody in LA that he was a disciplinarian. He wasn't gonna allow LeBron to do this, and he was gonna get in their ass and blah 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 blah. He looked like a homie out there. He looked like a fanboy. They were losing last night. He's over there laughing with them. I'm like, I don't know. I guess professional sports is different now. I don't know. I can't believe it. You think Popovich and fucking Phil Jackson would be kicking it with them at the end of the bench, laughing down 30? I'm tripping. I saw that last night. Pat and I were like, what the fuck? There's no way. He looks like he's over his head. Ty Lue looks like he's over his head. It looks like these cats are fucking either A, in defense of them, they're crippled or handcuffed because they can't do it because they'll get canceled or fired because the player runs this world now. So that could be very true. Like you say, two things could be true. I don't believe that shit's true. I think one thing's true. But then the other side of it is, are they homies? Are they fanboys? Are they trying not to have a guy demand a trade?
Darvin Ham ain't no fanboy. Like all accounts, any stories, Darvin Ham ain't no soft, just do whatever to me, coach, whatever. Is he somewhat of a player's coach because he played the game? Of course, he has that element in him for sure. I would call you a player's coach if I'm being real. Just because you cussing yell and do all that, you're somebody who I could like at the same time I could like fuck with a little bit and like players could try to throw you in the water. Like it's a combination of both. It's not like you know what I mean. So he probably a player's coach, but he ain't no soft pushover type coach. He took the Lakers last year to the Western Conference Finals when nobody, not me, not you, none of us even believed it. It took to the Western Conference Finals with that okay-looking roster. Ty Lue is one of the best head coaches in the NBA, like point blank period. He's dealing with players who get hurt all the fucking time. So as a head coach, what can you do? Like there's nothing you can do about that. And he talked about that on like a podcast or something in the summer. Like it's only something you can do. But that's an NBA champion coach, something that's very hard to do.
Like I'm trying to like him. I like what he did last year at the end of the year, but it's like, and I liked him as a player. I thought he was a gritty, nutty gutty player, but
T. Lue, yeah, he got a ring.
No, not T. Lue. I'm talking about Ham.
That ring, huh?
I'm talking about Ham. I'm not talking about
keep it on Ham. Keep it on Ham.
I'm talking about Ham. T. Lue, I don't know. I never really felt T. Lue ever since Iverson shitted on him. I just try to like. Ham was always that nutty, grutty guy, gritty. Yeah. I liked him as a player. You know, he could jump out the gym too. He's a dunk on cat.
He got a highlight in college. I think he broke the fucking backboard. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But I gotta ask you. where on his resume does it say he should have been hired as a Lakers head coach? The team that has 17 rings, like the most iconic basketball team in the history of the NBA. Magic and Kareem and Kobe and Shaq. Where did he do something that I must have been off the earth for a few years or something, because I missed where he did something to become the Lakers head coach. I'm trying to figure this out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I see all these other coaches get hired, and I'm like, damn, Darvin Ham has done nothing. The has done nothing. He wasn't even a great player. He was a role player, and he got the Lakers.
Those are the best coaches usually. Shit, why are you playing?
Yeah, but the NBA never hires them.
Like, what you mean? Phil Jackson was a role player. What are you talking about? He wasn't a great player. Fucking what? Phil Jackson wasn't like he was a good player. He was no fucking all-time great with the Knicks.
You better go back. You better go do some research.
I ain't say he wasn't good. He was not an all-time great. It's a fact.
He was responsible for winning titles as a player.
He played kudos. I'm not dissing. I'm just saying this guy wasn't no. I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's keep it real. We don't never, when we talk about all-time greats, we don't mention Phil Jackson when it comes to basketball player. He was a good sixth man. Like,
this is a first-time head coach, bro. The Lakers are hiring first-timers now. That's what my point is.
Coach since 2008, though. Like, I get it's his first-time head coach, but at the end of the day, JB, at one point or another, you were a first-time college head coach at some point.
Hey,
you had the opportunity.
Let me ask you this: how did it work out for Steve Nash, first-time head coach?
It didn't work out well for him, but why are we comparing Steve Nash to Darvin Ham? Because Darvin Ham, the way it worked out for him is he took the team to the Western Conference Finals. You were one of the last 4 teams remaining with a roster that wasn't even fully all the way there yet. So
they went into
that's how it worked out for him.
They didn't even get in the playoffs. They wouldn't even have made the playoffs if it wasn't for this new participation trophy ass tournament we have. They wouldn't even got in the fucking playoffs. So let's pump our brakes. They weren't even a fucking good team last year, and they got on a hot streak because of the fucking play-in and went on and won out. Like, made a hell of a run. Kudos to them. But, I mean, y'all want to talk shit about the bubble and what Frank Vogel did.
Time out. We got to be clear. The Lakers got the 7th seed, which, yes, in the new fucking world, that makes them play in the play-in tournament. But if you the 7th seed fucking 4 years ago, you're the 7th seed. So they would have been in the playoffs regardless if it was then or if it was now. Point blank, period. So just for clarity, you were the 7th seed and made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals as a first-year head coach. Fuck, JB. I know you're championship or nothing, but that has to mean something. Godly. It'd be Golden State, who was the reigning NBA champions the previous year. Like, what are we talking about here? You don't give them no credit?
Wait up. Darvin Ham won a championship with the Bucks. He was the head coach? Fuck you talking about, Eddie? I said head coach. Shut the fuck up, Eddie. Start listening. Take your fucking homework glasses off. Anyway.
If you use that same argument, when was Steve Kerr a head coach before Golden State? He wasn't. Steve Kerr wasn't. He was an assistant for the fucking Spurs. He was an assistant forever, and then he finally got his opportunity. They fired Mark Jackson for no reason, gave Steve Kerr an opportunity, and now we look at Steve Kerr as one of the all-time greats because of what he has done. You have to get an opportunity. It's almost like, we were talking about this on this show the other day, or maybe it was the porch. All my shows run into each other, but it's like you got to give somebody an opportunity for them to get the opportunity. Like, it's like I graduate, I try to go interview for a job, and they say, you don't have enough experience. Well, give me experience so I can get experience. I can't get it if you don't give it to me.
Time out. This is a team that had not a championship since, the 70s. This ain't the Lakers. I'm specifically talking about the most iconic brand in the sport. Don't bring up the Warriors. It's a totally different deal. Mark Jackson was there, got all those players in there. Steve Kerr just massaged them and started winning with a team that had 1 title, I believe, since the inception. The Lakers had fucking 15 at that time.
But who could we get? Phil Jackson's not coaching no more, JB. Popovich is not leaving San Antonio. Who can we get that's so legendary that would make sense?
There's a lot of cats out there. How about Nick Nurse? How about the dude that fucking? How about what's his name that won it? Fucking. How about old boy that won it? Fucking the Bulls. What's his name? The guy that's at the Bulls now. There's a lot of guys that had experience. What do you mean? Darvin Ham though for the Lakers? I'm not feeling it.
We've went that route before, getting these experienced cats. Our last fucking handful of coaches, and that has not worked for us as Lakers fans. You look at the Lakers head coaches the last decade. We've tried to go with Mike D'Antonio, Mike Brown, who I respect a lot. He's doing great things with the Kings. Like Frank Vogel, the Suns coach now, another guy who didn't win a championship but head coaching pedigree, did some great things with the Pacers for a long time. Obviously,
he won though.
These are guys who I respect a lot, but I'm saying
won a title
we tried that route, it didn't work.
Vogel won a title with the Lakers. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he did.
You guys knocked that bubble, but it's crazy how everyone thinks
he did. I'm a Lakers fan. He won it. It was a little different though, but he won it.
Yeah, but it was different, but it probably was harder.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I have heard NBA players say it was harder. Heard players say it was easier. Let me ask you this though. Like, let's be real. We always talk about players sitting out, players getting hurt, players not finishing the season. When the bubble went down, I think Lakers was like a top 3 seed. So Lakers were definitely one of the best teams in the league. So we had a chance. But to give an older Lakers team who deals with injuries with our star players, LeBron and AD, you give them 2.5 months, 3 months of just rest and recovery in the middle of the NBA season. And then you come back and say, hey, just all you got to do is play basketball right here at this one court every single day. You can't go nowhere, no distractions. Go. I understand not seeing your family can be tough. I get that from a mental standpoint. But I can also say this. Not seeing your family could also be a plus. I played college football, and during the entirety of the summer, during camp, doing all that shit, I ain't seen my fucking family. I ain't seen them until the first home game. Then my mom will come to the game. But all that time as you're working and building up, I don't see no fucking family. And I was able to lock in. It's me and my teammates. That's it. Me, my teammates, and football. That's it. I'm watching film. I'm eating food. I'm going on the football field. Repeat every single day. And that's how you build calluses. So my point to bring up is when you put a veteran team in a situation like the bubble, that's a much easier adaptable situation compared to some of these younger teams with 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds. They still in the streets. They still want to go out and party and have fun. Locking them in a spot, they're not even mature enough to fully be able to handle that. So again, it's not the Lakers' fault. Every team was in the same position and same scenario, and the Lakers won the championship, and I was out here celebrating in LA because I'm a Lakers fan. But when I take away my emotions and keep it all the way real, you cannot say that the bubble championship is exactly the same as if they did a full regular 82-game season, no breaks, and win it that way. It's just not the same. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I'm going to tell you right now, y'all sound so hypocritical. It blows my mind.
Okay.
Not you per se,
you can
but
say
the argument. The argument is hypocritical. Y'all get into this whole mental health thing and use it as a crutch every single fucking day. But now all of a sudden, being locked down in a bubble isn't mentally harder than it was regularly going home in your own bed every night. I'm good friends with Danny Green, dog, who was first front and center in the motherfucker. You know how many people were getting vertigo in there? You know how many people were getting sick in there? You know how fucking claustrophobic cats are getting? All this mental health shit that y'all push all over this fucking the world right now. All of a sudden, it's not mental health involved. Now it's okay. I can stay in the bubble and just sit there and it's not harder. What? Are you fucking joking me? Y'all, you want it all. It blows my mind. Do you know how hard that situation was? You had to have food ordered. You had to fucking sit in there. You couldn't have any pussy. No fucking, you had to do nothing. You had to sit there basically in like a concentration camp and go through each professional team and win each round. And you're saying it was easier.
Did you just compare fucking living at Disney in fucking Disneyland in Orlando, Florida to concentration camp? We at Disneyland with fucking free food, a nice ass hotel room with games, and we're playing basketball for millions of dollars. And we're living in hell. Stop.
Do you know anything? Do you know anything about that bubble? Have you talked to anyone in the bubble?
I guess I haven't.
Because you're wrong. They had 4 different hotels split. I don't know where you thinking it's Disney World. Disney World was shut down. It was all shut down. It was split into 4 different hotel rooms or hotels. They had to go to only certain teams. They were cut up by blocks: A block, B block, C block. They had certain teams went there, certain teams went here. Then they had a full-on meeting in a huge convention center room where LeBron and everybody, and then that's when the Giannis thing and the Bucks were going to forfeit all that shit. This was not fucking Disney World, homie. Are you kidding me? You acted like they were out there on rides and shit with their kids.
I'm not saying they own the ride, but that's literally where they're at. Like I didn't say
so
that.
What? That's the bubble.
That's where they're actually at. Like I don't know what
that was the bubble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'll listen. I'm not gonna argue with the mental health thing. If that would have been tough for y'all and you, JB, hey, I'm sorry. I hear you. I grew up differently, so I don't know.
It wouldn't have been tough on me.
Is my expertise. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, a fucking bubble for me would have not have been hell for me. Put me in a fucking free hotel.
It wasn't tough on me.
Getting paid. I'm hooping.
I'm not the one using
I
mental
get
health.
free treatment.
That's
that
y'all.
would have been cool for me. Would I like to see my family? Yeah, but also if you remember in the bubble, you were able to at some point, your wife or whoever you wanted to bring could come in there, fucking sit in isolated for fucking 7 days or whatever, and then you were able to see your woman. So if you need some alone time, personal time, you were able to do that if you had a woman. We seen that. We seen women and wives at the games. That's a fact. So my thing is, listen, bro. I'm not saying it's the easiest situation in the world, but I mean, fuck, bro. Like, are you what? Like,
so you got, first of all, you don't have kids, so the perspective is totally different. Second of all, you're married, but you don't have a full-on 3 or 4 kids at the house or dependents that you're paying their bills for or being around. And the mental health thing is totally, all of it's easy to me. I make millions of dollars. I'm not the one crying like some bitches like all these other motherfuckers.
That's why I don't know how you even arguing right now. I'm surprised I am shocked right now that JB's on the other side.
Because you all act like being locked down is normal life. It's a completely different scenario. There was no way you can tell me that was an easier scenario and an easier championship. We're in the middle of a pandemic, A. You had how many of those players had family members die during this time? B, couldn't be around them. C, and you had to stick there and stick it out. Cats were so mentally soft they left. Cats were leaving, remember? And as soon as the team got knocked out, they were gone. And Dame left before fucking the team even lost. So I'm trying to figure out how it was so easy of a championship. That's the argument I have, because that's the argument. It was the easiest championship of all time. It should have an asterisk. Well, then the 99 Spurs should have an asterisk too on the fucking shortened season. Yep. But no, nobody wants to talk about that.
That's a hell of a point. We never bring that up.
At least these motherfuckers went through it, got it done. Like I've seen video that I don't know how many. I'm not gonna say normal people, but most of the world hasn't seen, because remember, just so everyone knows, when they won the bubble. You know whose cigar they sucked on and whose fucking whiskey they drank? Mine. Slapdick. Fact. You can go find the receipts on Instagram. Go check it out. Danny Green posted it. I was reposting it before they deleted my fucking bigger Instagram. I sent them 16 bottles of Slapdick and 100 cigars. You can call Danny Green right now. They were blowing my shit, sipping my shit, partying it up. And I think then they deleted my fucking Instagram after that. How about that shit? But anyway, go check receipts. And I'm sure some people in this chat remember. The Lakers rocked with my shit. So I saw videos of the bubble. And I'm just telling you, it wasn't fucking riding Space Mountain every day.
So, just for clarity, y'all, I'm not saying that this is just an easy situation. That's not what I'm trying to put out. What I'm trying to say is that when you have look at the Lakers specifically, the Lakers team specifically, our 2 star players at that time, which is still the same way, is LeBron James and AD. And we have an aging LeBron James, who at the time was 36, 37. You have an Anthony Davis who gets hurt every single year. He's hurt right now in real life, right now.
So wait,
already.
Not to cut you off, before you finish, but you're giving an excuse for the Lakers winning when every other team had 4 months off too. And remember, I know you're accounting for AD because he was so soft and brittle, and then he had 4 months off.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't happen in the regular NBA season. So to just assume the Lakers would have won on that same magical journey and won the same way, like I just can't. I don't know. I just can't assume that. I can't assume.
So wait up. So what about
AD in a full season without a 4 month break?
So Kawhi
and LeBron will be as healthy as they were. Even LeBron, like LeBron.
So what about the
fresh.
other teams? You make no sense. So the other teams didn't get healthy. So Kawhi Leonard don't have the same opportunity. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Lakers specifically. I'm not talking about all these other younger teams who wouldn't deal with that. I'm saying the Lakers specifically. I'm saying
you're pampering the team.
I'm saying if you give an old team with fucking LeBron and AD 4 months off, an old veteran team 4 months off in the middle of the fucking season, where they're able to get fully recovered, you increase your likelihood of them being able to perform at their peak level for a shorter amount of time because they didn't have to play that long. You say LeBron and AD at their peak, they're one of the best duo, if not the best duo in the NBA. But when you play a whole 82-game season, playoffs, you go through the whole journey, you're not going to be at your peak. So that's why I'm saying it's a difference. It's a difference. If you took all the NBA teams right now and said, hey, man, play 10 games at the top level, the highest you can, 20 games, the best you can right now, boom. All you got is 20 games. Everybody fresh. It might be a different champion.
You're making an excuse.
A part of the journey, a part of you being a champion is not just how good you are. We get that. It's about how much can you endure throughout the entirety of a season. You know what I mean? NBA teams that motherfuckers got hurt, and if they didn't get hurt, maybe their situation would have been different. You think about the Houston Rockets when Chris Paul pulled his fucking hammy when they were up 3-2 against the Golden State Warriors. Imagine if that motherfucker had 2 months off before that, and his hamstring is stronger and healthier. He has less strain on his body. Maybe he doesn't get hurt. Maybe they win. My point is, when you get that much time off, it does change things.
You're making an excuse for the winner. You realize how dumb this sounds. You're making an excuse for the winner. It's just crazy to me. So all the other teams didn't have the same scenario.
Yes, they did. I led with that, JB. I led with that. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
They all were there, dog. They were all there.
Yeah, they were all there, but if I'm saying the impact on an older team is more beneficial than a younger team. The Boston Celtics, a Jason Tatum, a Jaylen Brown, these guys are young and spry. These guys don't need no fucking 2 months off. They're 24 years old. Whether they play 82 games, whether they get cut up, they don't need no fucking. To me, having 2 months off and fucking putting myself in a bubble is actually harder for a younger cat who ain't experienced, because they haven't experienced shit. They experienced it. It's hard. No, JB, this is real shit. It's hard to put a 23-year-old in a fucking locked up situation where they can't go out here and chase women and be in the clubs and do all this shit. When I'm LeBron James and I'm 30-7, or I'm AD and I've been in the NBA since I was 18 years old, like I've experienced all that shit. If I got locked in for 1 month, I can do that.
You're making excuses for all these motherfuckers. You want it all. You want it all. This is the generational discussion and debates we have. Y'all want it all. Y'all want it all. It's fucking crazy. Y'all want everything your way. It's crazy to me. So guess what? That's why it's more impressive. Because fucking Tatum and them should have been treating it like street ball. They're the young cats. They should have went out there and fucking dominated. What are you talking about, homie? They can't beat a bunch of old cats on the court in the pickup game? And you're making excuses for the young cats? Holy shit. That shit is crazy.
A fresh LeBron is the best player in the league.
It sounds like a bunch of fanboys in the chat whose team lost is who's agreeing with you. and it sounds like a bunch of fucking realistic people agreeing with me.
Why
crazy.
Why my fans got to be all the fucking fanboys and this and that? Why can't we just disagree? Don't come on my fan base. Don't come on my fan base and my people.
No. I'm seeing the chat. The fans teams that lost is who's agreeing with you. The Lakers and your argument. The Lakers who won, older or not, is who's agreeing with me. The fans that lost, some of these Celtic fans and some of these other teams that lost in the bubble are who agreeing with you because the Lakers got the chip. That's what it is. Who's agreeing with you? That's what I'm saying.
And listen, y'all, when Lakers
they got
won,
homer glasses. Y'all can't take the homer glasses off.
When the Lakers won, ask me, was I downtown out here fucking in the streets? I was. I'm not. So I'm happy they won. I'm happy they won. You know what I'm saying? Kobe passed away. RIP to Kobe. It was the same year. I was ecstatic. At the end of the day, I'm just saying when I remove my goggles, it is a little different. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Like, is that wrong to say it's different?
It's harder. We're gonna disagree all the time anyway. It's harder. And I would argue it's even harder for older cats to win. Are you kidding me? But anyway, like I've never seen a pickup game in the street where the young cats can't go in there and just take over and dominate the old cats when they're all off in the same time frame.
JB.
They all have the same frame.
JB. You're an older cat. Me and you the other day, like a couple months ago, we had a shooting contest. You actually beat me. If we actually played 1-on-1, right? Let's say the first game, you might beat me, right? I'm gonna give it to you. Maybe you beat me the first game. You're fresh, you feeling good. I said, okay, JB, let's play again tomorrow. All right, maybe you beat me again. Okay, cool. You beat me twice. Damn, JB, good as fuck. Let's play again third day. I'm still fine. I'm 29. I'm good. I guarantee that Jason Brown, whose fucking spine is hurting right now, his left ball, his back of his neck, his head, his shoulder, by day 3, your old ass gonna be hurt. I'm gonna dominate your ass. Why? Because your body is older and you can't fucking recover the same. But hold on. Let me give you a fucking week off between each game. Fucking 2 weeks off between each game. Well, JB at his peak may be better than me at my peak. So the same correlation. When you give an old cat who at their peak is the best player in the world, LeBron James, AD, a top 5 player in the world when he's healthy and at his peak. You get them fucking 2-3 months off, and now they come back, and this all they gotta do is focus on this one thing. Come on now, bro. It's easier for you compared to just the daily grind.
They're not playing once a week. They all had to play the same, homie.
You're not understanding me, JB. I'm saying the young guys are gonna be young. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm gonna be good if we play every fucking game or you give me a break. I'm 29. My body recovers like this. Your old ass, you need the time off. If you don't have the time off, your body works differently. Come on, JB.
Y'all should have blew. The young cats should have dominated then. You're fighting. You're making my argument for me.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian Bagley, man. I appreciate you, my guy. I be trying to break it down to my guy. Look, JB be feeling me, but he can't say it live on the show because otherwise it kind of like takes away from his. That's why if you really look at JB's face, he makes these small little tweaks of his facial expression when you say something that he knows in his head. Damn, that motherfucker got me a little bit, but he can't say it because we arguing. So, but as long as I know that you know, that I know that you know, then we good.
Joey B, every morning I make the spare room bed every morning here. Of course I do on the road, especially. Of course I do my own house. I'm especially gonna do another person's house. Pick up after myself. I clean the fucking bathroom. That's what you do. Grown folks do that. Anyway,
what you saying?
And they do have a full unmade every day, and I'm not gonna let somebody pick up after me. Anyway,
it's almost disrespectful though because you say picking up after me. That's her or his job though. Don't take away from her or his job and take away the value of how they get paid and how they take care of their livelihood.
You ain't got to clean up after me.
That's their job, baby.
Ain't my house. It ain't my house. See, that's this young generation.
Stay there.
God damn.
Hold on. I'm about to cook you one more time. So when you go out to eat, and I know it's rare, do you clean the whole fucking table afterwards and go back and wash the dishes? No, you don't.
Are you seriously explaining somewhere where you pay to go sit down versus
the same situation?
No, it's not.
You pay for gas to get out there.
This is a gift. This is a gift that I'm allowed to be here chilling and staying here. It's a respect thing.
Receive the full gift.
It's a respect thing. You guys don't have it. It fucking blows my mind. It's unbelievable.
JB, you know I'm the most respectful cat. I'm more respectful than you. I'm probably top 5 most respectful cat you've ever met in your lifetime, JB. And you know that.
Well, then you all right. So you have priorities fucked up then.
I'm just saying you can't take away somebody's job because what you're doing is mentally, you talk about mental health, you're almost devaluing what they do. Because like, I came here to work. If I ain't got no work to do, then why the fuck am I here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck. It's like if I went to work.
There's a ton of shit to do. They got kids, homie. They don't have to worry about a guest cleaning up after their motherfucking self. It's not a public place, homie. This is a private scenario. If you came to my house and you know I got a guest coming over, or my maid coming over, and you just left shit all over the bathroom and shit, motherfucker, we fighting. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not saying be rude. I'm not saying this fucking just fucking. Hey, Pat house is a fucking public place. He got an elevator in his house.
No, it's not.
He got a tennis court, a basketball court. Look behind you, JB, right now. Look behind you. What you see? No. I see a fucking mountain.
A lot of money.
I see a Picasso behind you right now.
I see a lot of money.
Hey, man, shit. But it is T-Rich Thursdays, man. And my main man, T-Rich, is in the building. Can we bring him up to the show, Bailey? What up? How you doing, player?
T-Rich, bam it up. By the way, Pat's under contract for 2 more years on the 4 Aces, so I don't know who brought that up. Anyway, 400 more likes. We need 400 more likes. T-Rich, what up, man? I'm over here cooking Smitty 4 days in a row. He's down 4-0 right now to the Wise and Wiley vet, JB. So I just had to bring in T-Rich. So hopefully you can help him out and get back on the winning track, I think, because he's getting his ass whooped this week, boy. God damn. I'm out here in Arizona, T-Rich, Scottsdale, you know. Right. Where you used to work out at. Right. I was over there yesterday. I was over there yesterday because Pat was telling me this is where you used to work out. You, RG3, all them cats used to work out over here at, we was over there yesterday.
API. Yeah, out there at API.
Yeah.
Man, hey, I love Scottsdale, man.
Man.
I bet you do.
Hey, T-Rich. Hey, T-Rich. I'm trying to get me a spot. I might have to borrow about 100,000 or something.
I see you ain't came back yet. You been out there for about a week now.
Hey, shit. I might have to get out the hood, dog. I might have to come up. I have to get out here in this desert mountain.
Might get a little studio, man, out there in Arizona.
I'm on the way. I'm on the bird.
T-Ray, you might have to move back out here, T-Ray. You might have to come back out here.
Hey, my boy Eddie out there. That boy Eddie Lacy out there. That's why he ain't came back to the South yet.
Hey, T-Ray, it's different, dog, out here. I'm just telling you. Shit.
Man, my dog Eddie went out there and started training. He got him a whole kid out there now.
I bet he do.
Hey,
man, T-Rich, man. Hey, where you headed right now, my guy? You in traffic? What's going on with you, my guy? How you doing?
Man, I'm headed to go get, JB, man. I'm getting older, man. I gotta go get this checkup done, man. Gotta go update some stuff, man. So,
hey, I just did it, T-Ray. I just did. I got the best blood ever on record. They told me I got the best blood. I got the best blood ever on record, and I got a little triglyceride heightens, because I drink. But other than that, they say I got the best blood ever. So I'm like, shit. That's why, I could have won in the bubble. Hey, T-Ray, I gotta ask you this question straight out the gate. Hey, Bailey, can we pull up the mental reset photo? Because I got to get into this mental health thing real quick. Yesterday, J.C. Jackson, who's a kid I recruited to go to Garden City JUCO, he ended up going to Riverside. I wasn't the head coach, so he ended up going to Riverside Community College in Cali. And now we know J.C. is one of the, had the most interceptions, I believe, over his first 2 years. And he got traded to Chargers, got traded back to New England. And I got sent some things from E-Dub, Weddle, Urlacher. We've all talked about this in the last 2 days. I'm honest, dog. I am done with this. I've never heard of not traveling to a game for a week because I got to mentally reset. And here's my only question to you. Is he getting paid? And he is getting paid. So I'm answering my own question. I found out. He's getting paid. Can we all take a week off and get paid and have a mental reset? Is this something real? Is this real or is this joke?
Man, you know, it's crazy, JB, because I believe in mental health, right? And we all know that's serious. But to say that you need a week off, like, I don't get that part of it. I need to be updated on it or something. And to say that you need a week off or whatever. And all. So I can see if you're going through some stuff, like you done seen some trauma type stuff. And, you know, some of them came back up, like the Calvin Ridley situation. I get that one. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased because he went to Bama. I'm saying that because
I called him. There you go.
We
got you back.
yeah, I can see if you had the Kevin Ridley situation. I get it. I can see if you got the Jones situation right now, right?
Taylor Jones.
Get that. But taking a week off to reset, oh man, like I don't get that part of it. Like that was never part of the league when I was in the league. That was never a part of. If you taking a week off, you're done. Like if you taking a week off, there's no more football for you. They're giving you the black bag. So I don't get that part of it. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to study up on it. I'm trying to be sensitive to these guys. But it's tough right now, bro, to sit there and say that, you know, these guys are not taking advantage of the mental health right now. Now, I don't know the situation, but I'm sitting there saying,
you're real.
JB, me and you got to be real about the situation, man. I don't know if these guys are taking advantage of that. I mean, let's take my guy Josh Gordon, right? He was late to stuff. And he couldn't stop smoking, right? Cool. But Josh would go have a ball out the night before, but be late to the meetings the next day because he balled out the night before, not the game, the night before.
Yeah.
And it was one of those situations to where, you know, that kid kind of smoked. And so when you get to the league, it's gonna cost you millions. When I was playing, right?
Right.
And so now it's just like, could he yelled out mental health? Could he, you know what I'm saying? Because it was some days that he didn't even come in. We had to go get him out the bed. But
hey, Bailey, can you show the video of the arrest of the person that is I don't know what this is. I don't know, no idea. But this is kind of related to this mental reset.
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick. So,
okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well, we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an Indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drinks.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Okay.
Okay. Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an Indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or turn tonight.
Mental health.
Any physical
Okay,
injuries?
Take it off.
Mental.
T-Rich, this is what I'm talking about with the J.C. Jackson thing. This is a crutch. Marcellus and I talk about this all the time.
JB. JB, I'm driving through Hoover and 280 right now, where the Carly girl saw the midget in the baby on the side of the road in Birmingham, right?
Oh, I recruited Hoover heavy. I love that area. Yeah.
So do y'all remember the Carly situation with the Carly girl not too long ago? Not the
Yeah, Carly Russell. Yep.
I'm going through the same road right now. Is that mental health, or is that wanting attention from her boyfriend because he got caught cheating?
Here's my thing, T-Rich. Marcellus and I discussed this in length. If you wake up, and I think if I woke up this morning and I said, my name is Trent Richardson, mental health chose me, dog. I don't know. I didn't know we could choose mental health on a daily basis. I didn't know we could wake up and just get to choose mental health. This is my reason. Mental health chooses us. That's the real mental health. I believe the truth about boy that played for the Raiders that's right now all fucked up. What's his name?
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones. I believe he got some shit going on. He really got some issues. Obviously, he didn't wake up, I don't think, saying this. I believe it chose him for whatever reason. This girl right here is why the J.C. Jackson thing pisses me off, because we've seen people like this run people over, kill another life, and then claim mental health in court, and then get off, and then do it again. And just to get off out of jail, they lie and use mental health as a crutch. This is what we see in more and more and more of. And I'm sitting there like, you going the wrong way on a fucking freeway. And that's your excuse? Now it's a non-binary and I'm choosing in this and I got mental health. What? Man, I'm just telling you, dog, we have gotten more money in this. Trent, I wish you could make fucking J.C. Jackson bread. I know, and I guarantee you Trent Richardson would have been playing, making that money, just like Smitty and I would have. We'd have been loving to play for that money. Now they're so enabled and entitled with the bigger bag and taking time off. I just don't know where we're headed, dog. This is a microcosm of society, and it's trickling down into professional sports, and that's where I'm at with this. I can't believe it. First of all, that was white people shit all day long. WPS, that's white people shit. Second of all, T-Rich, I don't know where we're headed, dog, but this is why, in my opinion, the NFL and college football has become watered down, because we have too much of this going on and we allow it instead of coach it. And it goes back to my point. Do you believe Caleb Williams would have been doing what he's doing under Nick Saban? Fuck no.
No, man. And we talking about the mental health stuff, right? Cool. So I had a situation when I was with the Colts my last year, and I almost lost my son. And so what I did, because something happened to my kid's mom, I took her to the emergency room. And I'm calling the personal player engagement guy to let him know I'm at the hospital. Now it's saying that, Trent Richardson is missing because he didn't answer the phone. Trent Richardson practice and all that stuff, this and that, and everybody texting me, all this other stuff. But it's like, bro, I done called, I done tried to leave voicemail, the stuff full, but now I get thrown to the dang slaughter because I almost lost my son, and not now one time did the head coach call and check up on me. And I sat there and told the head coach I can still make the trip now that my son is okay. Now that we done got everything cool with my kid's mom, I can still make the trip. Oh, no, we weren't going to play you anyway. But I get thrown underneath the bus for a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you brought it up, too, because, I've never heard anything from J.C. Jackson in terms of mental health or really any issues myself. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm not saying he's been perfect, but I've just never heard anything about J.C. Jackson other than him just being a solid locker room guy, good player. So it just makes me wonder, if there's something underlying that they're just keeping away from us and they're just saying mental reset just to protect something else? Like, did he do something wrong? And that it's like a team, he's getting punished for it. But instead of just putting that information out there, they're like, all right, we'll just call it mental reset just so we're not getting all the public fucking attention. I don't know. I could be reaching real far. To just randomly say I need a mental reset. I just can't imagine as a player ever saying that. Like, I love the game so much, number one, that I don't want to miss any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a homeboy. I'm not gonna say his name because I ain't talked to him before, but I had a homeboy. I remember he got a call that one of his best friends back in Cali had got shot and didn't know if he was gonna make it. Had a bullet in his neck, and thank God he ended up making it. But at the time, he didn't know. He got the call right before practice, and he's like fucking like shook. Still went out there, practiced his best way he could. It wasn't a great practice, but he went out there best as he could, still played the game because we had a job to do. You know what I'm saying? And there's countless stories of people going through certain things and still playing. And I get it. Listen, everybody's not the same. So if JB played through this, doesn't mean this guy has to play through that same thing. I get that. But if assuming that nothing actually happened and it's just JC's just saying, I just need a mental reset because I'm just stressed out, that's wild. That's why I think it has to be something else going on behind the scenes, and they're trying to keep it private. It has to be.
Let's get a little. It's not breaking news, but Alan in the chat here was with me when I was recruiting JC to play JUCO for me. He ended up going to Riverside. What I have talked to is Carlos Thompson, been on the show, one of my former players, was at Riverside with JC Jackson. They played together. Here's the rumor I'm hearing from both parties here. He don't want to fly to Germany.
Oh.
So Alan just said it. Carlos told me that. I'm trying to say, what? Is this real? You don't want to fly over to Germany? I don't know. I don't know if that's real or not. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just telling you. That's wild. Let me ask you something. Alan laughing because all right, let me ask you something real quick. Zion Williamson missed the game last night for the birth of his child. I don't know what child it is, from who. I don't know if it's from the porn star or whatever.
This is girl.
All right. So let me ask
former stripper. Yeah.
T-Rich is crazy. So let me ask you this, T-Rich, because to your situation, my boy Kevin Kaziarn played for the Bengals with TJ Hushamazada, and we talked about him. He was a white boy safety. He was bad. He played in the league about 10 years. He was told by the head coach of the Bengals at the time, if you missed this game for the birth of your child, they were going into the playoffs against Tennessee, I believe, we'll cut you at the end of the year. To your point, and this was back closer to when you played, the world's just changed, I guess. So don't miss the game because of the birth of your child. You're going to get cut. Zion is being encouraged to miss the game for his childbirth. Plus, we've already seen the cat miss fucking last 2 years. Is it just a straight up, we got to accept this is what it is? The shit has been accepted as go ahead and we're going to pay you hundreds of millions, but you can miss really whenever you want. We've seen Kyrie do it. We've seen James Harden do it. We've seen others do it. Where are you at with this? My question is it just the age thing? Is this a new norm? This is the new norm, I guess. You accept it. It's okay. I mean, it's crazy. You're going to get cut for having this happen when we play, and now you need to take off and go see your child be born.
Did you think that was right, though? I'm just curious. I'm trying to get your opinion.
It's not about being right or wrong. That's not my point on this. My point is just times have changed, and it was accepted. It was accepted to, like, you get cut. Right. You get cut back in the day. You were going to get cut from having your child, seeing your child born, which is a different. My point is it different, T-Rich, in your scenario as a child in danger, a death and life situation that's already born, versus a child coming into the world healthy and nice? Like, is that the difference? Is it okay to do the one but not the other? Or I'm trying to figure it out. Because, like, we know it's cutthroat, way more cutthroat then than it is now.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, as a coach, if I was a coach, like, it's tough, man. I was a player's coach. I I would want my kid to see the child, but it's at the same time like, fuck, we're in the playoffs, and I guess my point is like I know it's gonna come off a little crash and an asshole, but like you're just seeing the child born, Smitty. To my question to you, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna deliver the motherfucker?
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I can say the same. We're just playing a fucking football game. And I know in that moment, it means everything to us in that moment. Oh my God. But I'm sorry, JB, playing in a singular football game is not more important than me seeing the birth of my child and making sure that it is a healthy pregnancy, because there's no assumption. A lot of women go through a lot of shit when my wife's a nurse, your mom's a nurse, JB, and you got kids, so you know this. I'm just saying that we all know that childbirth is very dangerous. I was talking to somebody at Fox. I'm gonna leave his name out of it, but he was saying how he has 2 kids and they wanted to have 3, but they stopped because the first 2 births of their kids was 2 very scary situations. One baby came out, no oxygen, baby was purple. The second baby came out too big, had to break their arm to get them out safely. Like it was. So I'm saying that pregnancy and childbirth is very, very serious for both the woman involved and your kid. And even if it is a magical, perfect birth, this is a moment I will never get back. I can go play football. I will never be able to see this moment of my child being birthed ever again. So I'm not dissing nobody for making the choice to play games over the childbirth. I'm not going to diss them for that. But for the coach to not give them the option and say, you're going to get cut, I'm sorry. In my opinion, that's foul.
Hey, you should ask TJ. You should ask TJ about the story because it's fact. It happened. TJ was on the team
for sure. Yeah.
Here's the thing too. Like one of my best friends in the world's wife died after birth. So the baby's alive to this day. The baby's 20-something years old now, but the wife died. A couple of days later. So I get it. My mom, I know, I've seen it. I know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The deal is like, this is back in that day though, is my question. Like, this is the debate. The times have changed where you didn't even think about it. This was your livelihood. This is your pay. And you could possibly get blackballed, as T. Rich will tell you. Go ahead and fuck around and miss that shit. Not only did you get cut from the Bengals, now the rumors out there that coach is probably going to blackball you, and you may not ever get back on another team. That's how crazy it is. That's the difference in what's happened now. Like T-Rich was possibly blackballed during his scenario. So, like, just think about it. It's crazy. Times have changed is, I guess, my question.
Yeah. T-Rich. T-Rich. What's your take? Can you hear us?
I think he muted. Well, we know what you would do, Smitty. We know you were going to be there.
Oh, 100%, bro. I can't wait. I mean, I want to have a kid at some point. I've made that.
And by the way, the kid wasn't born. The kid wasn't even born.
I hear you.
Kevin's kid wasn't born. He wasn't born, so he ended up flying back, got to the game, played the game, and then flew back, and then got to see it being born. But
and that's perfect. That's the best scenario you could possibly have, I think. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But I'm sorry. I can't put no fucking game over the birth of my child now. You know what I mean? I just can't. Now, if there was any game that I would strongly consider, though, the one game that I'd be like, all right, fuck. Super Bowl. If it's a Super Bowl and I'm having my fucking kid, fuck. That's tough.
You can't, dog. This was the playoffs. It
Super Bowl, though. I'm there.
It goes to the Super Bowl, though. This is the playoffs.
Yeah, but fuck, bro. I ain't the quarterback. Shit, It ain't like I'll miss and it's just the game is over. Like, damn, like next man up. You know what I'm saying? You the quarterbacks is different. It's different responsibility, different. You know, I don't know, man. It's crazy. You really got to think these things through when you laying down in bed. Which it sounds crazy, but I'm saying, like, especially if you marry, you then got to think, like, if you trying to have a kid and you in the NFL, you then got to like fucking think that shit through. I feel like, which is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at T-Rich's face. It froze right here. I should have screenshot that shit. I'm sorry I ain't get it. He was like, please.
Hey, T-Rich, all right, T-Rich, I know Steve Kim's coming on next. I got to ask you, playoff, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let me ask you this college football playoff thing, and we're going to dive into when you get off. I wanted to ask you before you get off, though. I know you're driving. I don't want to keep you. Let me ask you this. If Bama plays Georgia in the SEC title game, which it looks like it could happen, and Bama wins, there's 2 one-loss teams, Georgia, Alabama. Michigan, Ohio State, one of those is going to have a loss, and then Oregon, Washington is going to probably repeat and play each other again. And for whoever wins that game, either one's going to have a loss or one's going to be undefeated. You got Florida State out there still undefeated. And then you got Texas with a 1 loss who beat Alabama. Who are you putting in the playoffs if this scenario comes out like this? Because in all fairness, Louisville still can have a good shot at beating Florida State, I think, in the final for the ACC. Both those teams could have 1 loss. And you're going to have a lot of fucking 1-loss teams possibly. Who's going to get in? I think the Pac-12 gets screwed just because of the West Coast bias, especially when they play the times the East Coast voters don't get to see. And then, as you always argue, the SEC's defense is probably going to be, in my opinion, going to travel a little better than Washington's defense, which is not very good. Who, in fairness, who gets in the playoffs this year?
And not being biased right now, I had to say the SEC, and I say that because the Pac-12 they're gonna get fucked. But we done seen the Washingtons, we done seen those guys go down there and get blowed out from an SEC team.
Not this year, though, T-Rich. Come on, this year.
I know, but it's always not this year. Yeah, well, it's always not this year. This ain't how it's been. I'm talking about in a playoff run, they always getting swiped, from an SEC team, and it'd be like, well, if Alabama was in, or or LSU was in, it wouldn't have happened like that. You get what I'm saying? So I get both sides of it. It's kind of tough to be like, man, SEC deserves it, but it's kind of tough to say they don't. You know what I'm saying? But when that 12, when I say when they go to 12 teams in that playoffs, it might be 4 teams in the SEC in the playoffs every year. I don't see Bama or Georgia missing it at all.
Ever. Yeah,
I'm talking about 2 losses. They're not going to miss the playoffs.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
That's real, man. I just feel like it's like if that's the case, why have the playoffs, at all, and let's just put fucking 4 SEC teams in every year. Let's call it the SEC championship, and that becomes the Natty. And this has all let's put Bama, Georgia, A&M, and Auburn, or fucking LSU, and just put them in every year. Because basically the argument is that we've seen Pac-12 teams go down there and get beat up. We've seen Big Ten teams go down there and get beat up. Our belief is that SEC just has the best football. So if that's the case, why do we even watch any other conferences play each other? Let's just assume SEC is the best and put them in the playoffs. But that's not the case. So I want to see the best fucking Pac-12 team play the best SEC team, and let's see. Michael Penix Jr. is gonna probably be the Heisman Trophy winner. I want to see the Heisman Trophy winner in the fucking playoffs going against a Bama or a Georgia or whoever, and let's see how good he really is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, JB.
This is the thing. Pat Perez agrees with T-Rich. We've seen we're going by data and stats and history. I mean, we've seen it before. Hey, we've seen it before though. Like the Pac-12 gets dominated. I mean,
every year.
I hear it. I hear what Smitty's saying, but the fact of the matter is, these teams go into the tournament and get waxed every year. So
my thing is for these guys who's scheduling these games, like go do something like Nick would do. Like go schedule a hard game in the beginning of the season or in the middle of the season and be like, hey, I played against them guys. I showed you what I can do. I feel like if Florida State lose, Florida State don't get in at all. I feel agree. If they lose against Louisville, they're done with.
I agree. They still got to play Miami this week. So, and they got to, in my opinion, they got to blow out.
Yeah, they're going to have to because.
Smitty, that's my thing. I think they got to blow them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't blow them out, you mess around and have a tight game and lose against Louisville or losing the ACC championship. Then now you the effed up because now you got a team like Alabama or Georgia would have won loss. Say Georgia lose against Alabama. How do you not put Georgia in there and they're the defending champs 2 years in a row? It's kind of like boxing, right? When you look at boxing, right, you gotta to beat the champ, you dang near gotta knock him out. You gotta dang near KO him, right? Like we done seen these last few fights and they were just like, well, they went the distance, but Tyson Fury just got knocked out.
Right, got knocked down. Right.
Like I get it. Like what's the other cat? Earl? No, what's the other cat just won by decision?
Earl Spence.
Was it Earl Spence who just
No,
it wasn't Earl.
Crawford knocked TKO.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, Crawford TKO.
Fury just fought in that MMA fighter Francis Ngannou, and Tyson Fury won by decision, even though he got knocked down earlier in the fight. So you might be talking about that fight. I'm not sure.
It was the one before that. I'm talking about that fight and the one before that. And the cat like was whooping him the whole fight, but they gave him a fight. And he was talking about fighting.
Haney.
Yeah, he talking about fighting Tank. Man, come on, man.
Oh yeah, Devin Haney, yeah.
Yeah, you talking about fighting Tank Davis, man. Come on, man.
No, I hear you, man.
It's stuff like that is like, bro, like you dang near got to like just whoop Georgia for them not to be in that championship. And it got to be somebody outside the SEC who got to whoop them.
Well, hey, he kind of agrees with you, JB, because JB, didn't you just say this yesterday as far as like, I think it was you that said making like the scheduling harder, you know what I'm saying? Where you're like, hey, let's make all the best teams play each other earlier in the season to see who's really who. So when we get to the end, we ain't got to guess, ain't no assumption, we know.
I think we should keep it at 4 teams. I don't like the 12 team. I just think it's watered down. I think you're going to see blowout after blowout. You're going to see a 2 or 3 loss team be the 12th seed and get fucking blown out. And we could avoid it if SC and like SC and Pete Carroll used to do, play everybody all year long, play whoever. They played Arkansas and Auburn in the same year one year. And if you're the best, you're the best. And then the best 4 teams truly get in. And if you lose, guess what? You lost against one of those teams. So put the best 4 in and then keep it that way. 12 teams to me just seems like we just want to give everybody a trophy and we want to see more football. And more football sometimes is less because it's not the quality it once was. It's a bunch of – we're going to put TCU in with 2 losses one year or Baylor or something. And they're going to get waxed. And it's like, why even put them in? Just put them in a bowl game. But kids are sitting out bowl games now. That don't mean nothing. So, like, it's so much shit to it. I don't know.
So, Smith, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Say TCU win the rest of the games after they lost against Colorado.
Right.
Do you put them back in the playoffs with a 1 loss to Colorado with a tight game?
Nah. I wouldn't put them in there. I mean, considering all other things are the same as well, considering that all other teams are the same record they have now, I couldn't put them above there because you got to look at strength of schedule. You got when you do lose, you got to look at what that loss is. You know what I'm saying? That matters. And not just all losses are not the same. You know what I'm saying? If I got 1 loss to Georgia and that's it versus 1 loss to Colorado, well, fuck, that's the difference. It's a huge difference. So I think that matters. Strength of schedule. Just NFL cats who you got on your team, the eye test, the fucking numbers, how when you do win, how big of a gap is the score when you do win. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. And this is why I actually like the 12 teams coming because I think it kind of just eliminates all the like, oh, this team should have got in. That's not fair. Because every year we say that with the 14, it's like, even this year, somebody's going to get screwed. Somebody's not going to either Washington's going to miss out or Oregon or maybe Bama barely misses out, and we think they should have been in. Like some Texas, you know, Bama might get in, and Texas don't get in, and Texas like we beat Bama. How the fuck they get in? We didn't get it. So like something's gonna happen this year, and it's gonna shake up the whole entire college world. So imagine we had the 12 teams this year. Sure, JB, you're right. Some of the bottom teams that get in will probably be like people that would be scrubs, right? Get blown out. But it would at least allow the Texas, the Bama, the A&M, the fucking Georgia, Michigan, all Ohio State, all the like real like the top 8 top dogs, we can truly see them go, and we can just find out like who's the best. Because last year, let's be real, man, was TCU the second best team in the country last year?
No,
they was not, y'all. They were not. They were not. Let's keep it all the way funky. But they made it. They did it. They beat Michigan. Michigan literally handed it to them. Michigan did everything they could do last year to lose that game. Everything.
Yeah, you can't say. Let me ask you this. Then let's just put 131 teams in the playoffs.
Nah, I can't. Come on, JV.
You know what? T-Rich, be real though, because you already know. Guess what? Guess who's going to be pissed next year? The fucking 13th team that was left out.
I hear you.
Y'all going to keep wanting more, man. The 13th team should have been in. They only lost one game.
But at some point, though, JB, it's like, all right, bro, the 13th team is fucking Kent State. We're not about to worry too much about that.
It don't matter. Just put them all in. Just put them all in then. That's what y'all want. Y'all want this soft shit. Put them all in. Like, when are we gonna really sit down and talk about the best? Like, everybody wants to let's just everybody get in.
JB, tell before we bring in Steve Kim, because he just got on. Tell me who's the 4 best teams right now. Then tell me right now.
Before T-Rich gets out of here, bring Steve in real quick.
Bring Steve in, man. Steve Kim, man. Korean Cosell, man.
T-Rich, before you leave, I gotta ask you something, T-Rich. If Texas wins out and Bama beats Georgia, and it's the top 4 teams is Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan, do you put Texas in over Alabama? They beat them.
It's tough. It's tough though, man, because, and I'm not being biased at all, because I tell guys like this: if Bama was doing what the hell they supposed to be doing, they wouldn't have been put in that situation, right? And so, and I got to be real about it. Do they deserve to be in there? Bama, if they keep stacking, maybe. But with that one loss to Texas, do not deserve to be in it? I'm talking about Texas. Yeah. Like, how do you not put Texas in there? So it's tough, man, but how can you not put Georgia in there too? It depends what the loss is, though. Like Smitty just said, like, do they lose by a good margin? Do they lose more than 2 or 3 points? Or is it 3 touchdowns? Or is it, whatever? I think that comes when it comes to those 3 teams, when they're coming to battle, with those 1 losses, those 3 teams, I think it comes to the point spread. That's the only way you can do it right now. Because right now, I mean, next year Texas will be in the SEC, and they just whooped one of the top dogs in the SEC
at home.
At home.
But I think one of the factors is, would Quinn Ewers be available? Because they do take that into consideration.
That's true. That's a good point.
The more I think, I'm not really that opposed to the expanded playoff. I used to think the expanded playoff in baseball would ruin the game. I think it's actually helped baseball. Keeps more teams involved down the stretch. With these new super conferences, we got to see it with the new super conference setup. But, to me, if Texas wins out and Quinn Ewers is their quarterback, at a certain point, the games have to matter.
Right.
They do. And they beat them in Tuscaloosa. It was not a home game for Texas. And Texas kind of controlled that game late. I think they won by double digits. It's not like they eked by.
Yeah.
And be real, T-Rich, you talked about it's not just this season, it's previous seasons that we look at. Y'all beat Texas last year, but if we all kind of keep it all the way 100, like the kids say, if Quinn Ewers don't go down last year, they might have beat y'all back-to-back years. So, if we're being honest, Texas has kind of had Alabama's number the last 2 years. So,
man,
I know you rolled the eyes. I'm just keeping it real.
Listen, what we can't do, we can't talk about these moral victories, right? We can't talk about what if Colt McCoy played, right? We can't get into that factor, right? What if he didn't get hurt?
To be fair, last year does not matter. They only go by the capsule of this year.
Yeah,
well, before you hopped on, Steve, Trent was saying that, like, we were talking about the whole SEC always having like the top rated teams, and
I guess, but this year SEC was not that good out of conference.
Exactly. That's what I said. But like, we're having an argument earlier. It's like, well, they don't just look at this year though. They don't just look, and I'm like, all right, I don't know.
And a lot of SEC teams do not schedule games out of their time zone. They don't. If you look at their non-conference scheduling, there's a reason why teams like Florida rarely leave their time zone. And when it happened, Utah beat them with their third quarterback. The SEC is the best conference, but there's certain myths. Georgia and Alabama don't play each other every year. They don't. There are certain teams in that conference that play each other once every 6 years. And I'm sick and tired of SEC teams that finish 7th place chanting SEC. Bro, you're like the guy that holds the belt in the ring talking about you're the champion. You're not. You're the 7th place team in the league. My God.
Right.
I agree with you. I don't like that either. Like you saying SEC, and y'all not even touching the SEC. Y'all shouldn't even be in there if y'all the 17. To me,
right.
I agree with you on that.
T-Rich, man, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you hopping on in the car. I know you got to go get that blood work. See if you can beat my blood work and be the best blood work in America, because I got the best blood right now in America. So let's see if you got you get the best blood. And hey,
before I get off,
next week.
man.
Yeah.
Before I get off, man, TJ don't got a big game this week. It's another national game, but it's our playoff game, semifinals. They win and they go to the ship and they play against another national team that we got in our league. But man, your boy went off last week. I meant to send you the plays. He did one of the, and it surprised me, right? It just shows me where his mindset is, right? So he said, Dad, this is the first one he got me with. And it really was the last one. He said, Dad, $50 right now. I bet y'all score first play out. I said, bet. And I thought about it. I said, hold on. He got 3 head tops right now in the end zone. And if he getting the ball out the backfield, they must fit to give him a toss. So he fit to go. I said, hold on, let's do $10. He said, you already shook on it. Cool. Man, first play out, he take it 50 yards to the right side. They called it back. I'm like, oh, he go to the left side. The next play, the same. I'm talking about, he pushed the hole better than me. He pushing the hole and but what got me was when they went over the top and he snatched the ball from the dude. They both had their hands on it. He snatched it and just went like that to the ref, like, and just looked at the boy like, and flicked the ball to the ref. So I'm thinking, and you can hear in the video, I'm gonna send it to you, JB, like, ooh, shit. Like, I don't get too excited about stuff, man, because he's a kid and I try to keep his head like, but man, listen, man.
Hey, that boy bad. You gotta send me the video for next week. We gotta put it up.
Yeah, for sure.
He gonna have a whole catalog.
TJ, man. Good luck to you. Good luck to him, man. Big time game. Can't wait to hear about y'all getting the dub next week.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. See y'all next week.
All right, T-Rich.
All right, peace.
All right, Steve. I gotta get to brass tacks here. There's a lot to unfold. Weddle brought up a good point on Monday. I gotta get your education on this. So this is I said yesterday, Matt kind of agreed and thought it was a pretty good idea. I said that you agree with the 12. I don't. I think that it's more watered down because we know, and the 13th team's going to be pissed off next year. And I'm like, oh, fuck, just put all 131 teams in then. Here's the thing I got. How about the best teams play each other all year round like you and I both want, and you stop scheduling Kent State and North Alabama. Florida State plays who? North Alabama this week or something? Or not Florida State. Who plays North Alabama this week? Somebody undefeated right now. I forgot.
Somebody do. I'll look it up.
But if they play each other, Steve, then you really, truly get the best 4 teams. When Pete Carroll's at SC, they played SEC teams twice a year. Arkansas, Auburn, smacked both of them. Played Oklahoma one year, smacked them. They were clearly deserving of a 4-team playoff. They're the best team. We get watered-down teams in there because we play these other money games. And I just think 4 teams and really finding the best 4 is better football than 12 watered down. 9 of them have 2 losses. They're going to get waxed in the first round anyway. And it's like, just go to a bowl game. Go fucking play in the Tijuana Tech Bowl. I don't know. That's my take. But Steve, I gotta get your true.
With
take
these
on
new
this?
super conferences, if you look at these future schedules, some of these teams are playing very tough schedules. If you look at what USC and UCLA are going to be going through in that Big Ten, that's essentially what's going to be happening with them in the SEC. But do I believe that strength of schedule really needs to matter? See, that's where I don't think it's just about the scheduling. It is about the committee to actually enforce their own standards and saying, you know what, you have 10 wins, but you didn't schedule anybody. I mean, it kind of goes, that's where, and again, would they actually enforce that against the SEC? You look at the SEC, they don't get enough heat for not scheduling good teams out of their region. It's the truth.
So let me ask you this. Michigan, Ohio State is going to play for probably the championship. One of them's going to lose, and then the winner's going to go play fucking Iowa. They need to change that. Like, this is where I'm talking about playing the best. Like, Michigan should turn around and play Ohio State again. We already know that West is horrible, and it's going to be a fucking shellacking. And one of those teams is going to get left out, and especially this year, which I've been told twice now by 4 Division I coaches, Steve, in the last few days, that he believes this may be the first year we have undefeated teams left out of the playoff.
Well, yeah, but that's why. But then you can make the argument that in a 12-team playoff, the loser of Michigan, Ohio State would then just be the 8th or 9th or 7th or 8th seed.
Exactly.
So that's the natural buffer then with the 12-team playoff then.
Yeah,
but
those are the
teams in that tournament.
But those teams deserve it. Like, those teams deserve it. Kent State being 10-0.
Yeah, but Kent State, I don't think there's ever been. When was the last time a MAC team was really in the top 10?
I mean, I'm just saying the name. I mean, we've had the Boise's of the world beat a Bama. We've seen the Utah beat a Bama. We've seen the Boise beat Oklahoma. We've seen these here and there, post BCS. But I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, because this year is going to be so different, in my opinion. I think this year is going to be so crazy. You're going to have, like, unbelievable deal. This is what I want to get your take on. We got to break this down. Weddle brought it up. So, Michigan, let's just say Oregon, Washington. Oregon wins the rematch. Those two have one loss. Bama beats Georgia. Those two have one loss. Let's say Louisville wins out, plays Florida State in the ACC title game and beats Florida State. They both have one loss. And then Michigan, Ohio State game. Obviously, that's the one game scenario that one of them will be undefeated, one of them will have one loss, and that team may be left out. I got an interesting call yesterday, and I talked to somebody about this particular deal. Why is Ohio State at 1? I brought it up yesterday. It seems real fishy because Georgia hasn't lost in like 1,700 days, and they're not number 1. Blows my mind. And why Ohio State's number 1 with an average quarterback is really interesting because why? If they do lose to Michigan, they're going to be to number 4. You know, I know, everyone knows they're just going to move them to 4. And Washington or Oregon is going to get left out. And if Miami beats Florida State or Florida State don't mollywop them based on the point discrepancy, we're going to have like a very odd situation. So who's getting in, Steve? What 4 are going to get in? You don't see a scenario here where Washington possibly gets left out or maybe Florida State based on strength of schedule or just their defense isn't very good. Washington gave up so many points. We can't put them in over a one-loss Georgia.
Look, I say play the games first. We're going through all these scenarios. Washington's defense, I'll be honest, since they beat them, Washington, they've looked vulnerable. I think Oregon's one of the best 4 teams right now if they were to play. But again, that game that took place about a month ago matters. Washington should get credit for that victory. As for Florida State, if they go undefeated, I believe that they'll be in. The other stuff, you're right. There's a perception that Ohio State's schedule, that they have played a tougher one than Georgia, but that Notre Dame victory is becoming devalued as the weeks go on. We have to be honest about that.
That was
Penn State and Michigan. Now, that's an interesting game this week. That's at Happy Valley. And James Franklin, you better understand one thing. If you have Drew Aller, take the training wheels off. That game plan you had against Ohio State, you played to lose the game. Hello. All you want to do is hand off. Oh, my God, it's 3rd and 8. We're going to throw – I like James Franklin. But when you finally have a blue chip 5-star quarterback, you better at least allow him to play ball. What happened in that Penn State game where you're praying for 5 turnovers from Ohio State and a pick 6, that you're playing to cover the spread. That was one of the worst offensive game plans, and they wasted a really good defensive performance. And again, McCord missed a lot of throws that game, to be honest. But you're at home. Your quarterback now has 8, 9, 10 games under his belt. Play to win the game. That's it. It's very simple. Drew Aller has some arm talent. He's an upgrade over what you've had. Let him play ball.
What keeps Pac-12 out of the tournament? What keeps them out? Because here's the scenario: Washington plays Utah still, correct?
I believe so.
This week, no?
Yeah, I think they do. I haven't really checked the schedule, but
are we doing Palooza?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
Yeah, Washington plays Utah this weekend, and then they got Oregon State the next week.
Now, here's the thing about Utah. I love that program. I think that they are well constructed, but offensively, do they have enough to keep up with Penix and those thoroughbreds? I just don't see it. But Oregon, to me, when I look at Oregon, Lanning made some decisions in Seattle, which I think he's going to regret for a very long time. But I just look at that team and I say that's one of the best 4 teams right now. So
they got to play the big. They got to play the rivalry. That's not going to be easy. Jonathan Smith is going to have them up.
Yep.
Utah's not going to be easy, especially after they play Utah. And if they do skate by, they have to play a great Oregon State team. I think it's a pretty damn good Oregon State team. And are they going to be banged up from Utah's physicality? And like, this is a hell of a stretch. And this is why I think the Pac-12 this year, to Smitty's point, is kind of undervalued because their schedule is, in my opinion, much harder than Bama's has been, even though they played the one Texas. But Texas lost to a team that's got beat by Oklahoma State and Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was the year the Pac-12 and a 12-team playoff, I think, would have more than one team. For all the SEC homers that keep chanting SEC, look, you look at the depth of the Pac-12, there's not a lot of easy outs. There's Stanford and Cal. Arizona State's gotten better. Arizona with Jed Fish, they're doing a hell of a job. I want to see where that program is in 2 years. I hope Jed Fish kind of builds that in Tucson. But let's just play ball. You never know what can happen. I don't waste my time with these scenarios. You play ball, you figure it out. That's it. It's not my job to be on the committee. I just watch the games.
Smitty, let's talk NFL tonight. It's a nice game. I don't know if you guys – I know Steve loves Amazon games. He loves the Thursday night schedule.
Bears and Panthers.
Steve, will you even watch it?
Generally, what I do is I tape the game on because NFL Network replays the game at like 9:30. So I'll put it on DVR record, and if something interesting happened, I'll go back to it. If not, I'll just catch the highlights.
Yeah, tonight's game's got to be – I'm glad I won't see it. I'll be drinking heavily on the golf course. I will not see it. I don't care about it. I don't want to watch it. Is the D2 kid playing?
Tyson Bagent is playing.
I love how
I do think Bryce should be playing all right.
I don't see why not. I mean,
yeah, Bryce should be playing. So I mean, he at least watch a little bit of Bryce. He's still number 1 overall draft pick. So I don't know. I mean, I got to keep my eyes on it, but I'm not excited to watch that game. Let me say that.
NFL wise, this weekend, probably the worst schedule of the year. But the Jags 49ers, Steve, if the Niners lose a 4th in a row, are you all going to say that I'm Nostradamus?
If they lose 4 in a row, they ought to begin to panic. I'm sick of teams saying, well, we're not panicking. And I always say to myself, you should. You get 17 games. If I hear, the only coach that ever said, we're going to panic. I'm going to say, you know what? You're honest. If they lose 4 in a row, I would panic if I'm the Niners. I would, because teams that have 4-game losing streaks generally don't make the playoffs. So, yes, this is a must-win situation, as must-win as you can in week 10 or 11.
If they do you see Purdy's reign supreme kind of over and it goes to Sam Darnold?
Well, see, that's the problem. Are you really going to an upgrade? I'd like to see them back healthy again. You got to get Trent Williams back. what's being shown is that Debo is important.
They're both back, right?
Debo is so vital to that offense.
Debo will be back. I'm not sure if Trent is back officially yet, but Debo is supposed to be back this weekend.
And they have a revitalized pass rush with Chase Young. Hopefully he punches that up. Helps out Bosa, because their pass rush hasn't been very good this year, to be honest. And that's been one of the key declines that they've had. So, look, they've made some moves. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still like that overall roster, but they got to get going. You cannot go a whole month in the National Football League and not win a ball game. Good teams generally do not do that.
Let's talk future. Bears get the 1 and 2 pick right now. We all know what's going on with Caleb Williams. You and I both kind of agree. We don't know. Weddle agrees as being a guy that's been asked to do some GM work in the NFL. He's like, there's no way I could draft that guy that high. Is Caleb sliding? And if you're Chicago, are you taking a quarterback?
No, not him. I'm taking Drake May. A big body guy. He looks like more physically stout. And Caleb, just too many red flags. By the way, I want to give LeVar Arrington credit. He actually came out on Fox and said, no, that's soft. Like, he just flat out said, Caleb, yeah, soft. And people came at him and saying, you're being judgmental. Hey, morons, our jobs when we do this is to be judgmental. Okay? And get this, once in a while, we're going to have opinions you don't agree with. But you know what the great thing is? We don't give a chip. So congratulations, thumbs up to LeVar Arrington. I've met him before, stand-up guy, and he gave his reasoning. I don't understand this. Yes, people cry in football. They cry in all sports. But it's the way he did it. And the genius is say, well, there was a play on Washington. He cried on the field. Yeah, his dad died this week. I think it's a little different there, geniuses. But not this fine audience. We only have the greatest of audiences and serious people here at this time. But Caleb Williams, to me, is a bit odd. And it's not just the crying. It's the totality of events that we have seen. Drake may be flawed. However, I think he has less question marks attached to him than anybody else. So I'd go Drake May 1. And if he and I believe he is coming out of the draft with the number 2 pick, if I'm the Bears, I make it real easy. From the Ohio State, I take Marvin Harrison. Now, bang. Now you got a quarterback, you got your number 1 guy. That's it. Don't overthink it.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention, since you mentioned LeVar standing up and saying his piece, Robert Mathis Jr. came out and destroyed RG3's tweet. That my tweet had over 10 million views.
Yes.
Yeah.
Monty Tuna did too.
We actually talked because that thing I did had over 10 million views on that RG3 thing, and I'm glad he unblocked me some way. I don't know why RG3 unblocked me, but he did. And Robert Mathis was like, "Man, all due respect to RG3, this is the worst take you've ever had. This is soft as hell. I do not want my quarterback leading my group into battle, and this is the way." He's like, "You imagine Peyton Manning doing this for us?" He was like, "I just can't see it." I love Robert Mathis's take. I know Smitty does because he's a homer Indy fan. But, I'm glad some folks were sticking out. And it's not about a race and all that shit, but Smitty and I discuss this all the time. But I'm actually glad because if anyone else, like myself or whoever, they kind of don't come after me because they know that only Smitty's racist on this show. But me, having said that, it would have been much different. I'm glad a brother came out and said it against RG3. It actually, I'm like, all right, fuck it. Good.
I mean, that whole thing was odd. It's like he's getting cuddled by his mom or being cradled. And I said the Whitlock, his mom has this white sheet covering his head. I mean, what are they afraid of? Michigan stealing the conversation?
All right.
Hey, Steve is too good, man. Hey, Steve too good.
Then I also said, you know how they have those injury tents where they plop it up? Well, get an emotion tent. So his family
I gotta be honest though.
God damn, bro.
Shout out to the Steve Kim of college football and of higher learning and great educational institution, Michigan. They have an Asian president and he has got brass balls, something similar to what Gung Ho was represented by. This guy is unbelievable. I actually got blocked by Ohio State fans last night. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, I'm not even a Michigan fan. I don't really give a shit. I said simply, we need more admin like this, who said, you know what? If you're going to come after Michigan, you better get ready because we're going to let you all know there's more out there than meets the eye. And he basically dropped his balls and said, I'm defending my coach and I'm defending our legacy and our integrity. And guess what? There's more out there than you know. And if you want to do this, we're going to open Pandora's box up here. And you're going to have to fire everybody. You better fire every coach in the Big Ten, and you better just suspend every kid because this shit is getting crazy to me. And I don't know where it ends, but why is it getting closer and closer to Ohio State and we keep bringing up more and more shit? I'm telling you, they don't want that guy to play Ohio State. Harbaugh.
Well, that is a crouching tiger, Michigan man. That should
God.
I'm sure Bo Schembechler is from the big cloud, big house in the sky is saying, "Yeah, boy." That's his job.
Steve, you have to have goosebumps at night, don't you? For your like, don't you have like crouching tiger, like go to sleep at night? Just yes.
You know what? I guarantee you that Michigan president probably went up on a rooftop with his rifle and made that proclamation. Proud day.
Hey, were you walking away at the end of Friday at DJ Pooh's like, yeah, after Debo got knocked out? Was that you last night when Ono came out and dropped his balls? You were
I was at home. I was reading a book or something, you know. But the thing about the Michigan thing, it's like that the Houston Astros sign stealing with Altuve and that. If you think the Astros were the only ones that had a system of tipping off pitches to batters, you are incredibly naive.
No.
There's a reason why these stories sometimes just die and you don't suspend a player or a team. Because that team will just say, oh, you want to go there, huh? You want to go there.
Suspend the whole league. Right.
You know.
I agree. Who Lakers screwed me on my parlay last night. I started to show off with Smitty that Darvin Ham's over his head. I think he's a fan. I think he's too friendly with the guys. Not a fanboy, but I think he's too friendly. The Lakers.
But isn't that what LeBron wants? A coach he can control.
Is that not the Smitty's not a LeBron guy, but we like the greatness of him. But here's the thing: like, hasn't he ruined more coaches than anyone else?
He is a bit of a coach killer. Look, there's issues with LeBron, and I don't want to panic too much as a former Laker fan in recess who's waiting for LeBron to leave our fine franchise. But last year they got off to a slow start. They engineered some trades, so I'm sure Maverick Carter and his whole posse that's not on Broadway is probably working out trades and throwing people under the bus to make sure LeBron can win about 45 games, and then the NBA will do what they do. I can't wait to watch none of it this year. Oh, God.
I haven't watched that.
Y'all hate basketball, don't you?
It's become so unwatchable, Smitty. I mean, it's become
taking a break.
If you watch
already low managing.
If you watch our show daily, JB has said college football has become unwatchable, NFL has become unwatchable, NBA has become unwatchable. He don't like baseball, he don't like soccer, he don't watch hockey. So it sounds like the world of sports had just become unwatchable, and we should no longer let's change this show to like a relationship-based show or just life, and we don't talk about sports because sports is unwatchable. I guess now.
Stop it, y'all. Sport. I have got a newfound respect, and this show is going to start transitioning over to a man sport, which is NASCAR. It's going to be NASCAR based.
Let's start doing it. Hey, tomorrow will be our first NASCAR show, JB. Let's do it.
Bailey, before Steve gets out of here, can we pull up our top fives? I want to get Steve's take on a few of these. Let's talk college first. Bring up the top 5 college performers of the week, and then I want to get into the. I love talking quarterback with Steve because he loves Patrick Mahomes' dink and dunk self. So let's break down the college football. I know Bailey has to find those and probably put them in the system.
30 seconds, JB. It'll be in 30 seconds.
Why he's doing that, Steve? Florida State, Miami. Give us a breakdown.
Blowout. I just can't see Miami with the broken quarterback TVD
Really?
has ruined a really good team. This team should be 8-1. From that Georgia Tech game on, when Cristobal blew it by not taking a knee, Van Dyke's become a turnover machine. But also last week's game, the defense played lights out. And my major concern with Cristobal, and I said this 2 years ago as they hired him, and I like Cristobal. Great program builder, very good recruiter, will create a strong culture. We're going to be physical. But his offensive game management and clock management scares the hell out of me. And I think he's got to take a look at his whole offensive approach. I'm talking about tempo, style, getting dual threat quarterback. He's got to look at that whole side of the ball. And so Florida State's a really good offense. And I'm not so sure our cornerbacks or short guys are going to match up with their big receivers. That matchup scares me. And they're going to Tallahassee. Unless TVD can regain his mojo, this is a tough ask for Miami.
Baby, we got it. Ready? Let's do this. Here's my coaching performances last week, Steve. What do you agree and don't disagree with? I know you could have put Gundy on there, and I know, beating Oklahoma, and I know Smitty had a few disagreements, but Jeff Monken getting it done, beating Air Force. I mean, they were undefeated. I don't know how the schedule's so bad. I don't think they're very good, but Jeff Monken got a big win. Jed Fish, I put him right there. I agree with you. I was not a believer. Belichick disciples usually are just floundered. I think he's building something there. My good friend here, Pat Perez, is pissed off because he's an Arizona State Sun Devil, but Jed Fish looks like, beating UCLA. I mean, this is just they're ascending. Dabo got it done. My upset pick of the week. He helped me get that done, so I had to put him in there. Statement just continues to win games. I mean, you don't have to put him in there because I think we're accustomed to him winning, but I think also he gets undervalued at times. This isn't his greatest team. I think it might be his greatest coaching job, though. And Sam Pittman going down to Florida after the fact that everyone wants him out of there. That's some pressure as a coach. So that's my five. Well, who you got in there?
I like Jed Fish. He was at Miami for a year or two. I thought he was a very creative offensive mind. I was not happy when he left before Stephen Morris's senior year. The way Jed Fish plays football offensively, I say to myself, that's what we need to do. I hope he sticks around. I really do. And by the way, guys, it's interesting. Arizona had a 1,000-yard receiver last year. His name was Dorian Singer, and he went to USC. I wonder if he regrets that move.
Hell yeah.
I don't see Dorian Singer on a lot of USC highlights. Well, Arizona looks to me like an ascending program, doesn't it?
Addition by subtraction. Yeah, addition by subtraction.
Sometimes the grass is not greener. You're better off staying where you are. Okay?
It is.
You got Gundy? With Army just blowing out Arizona. They were like a 19-point underdog, and they blew them out, Air Force. And then as for Sam Pittman, he made a move last week in firing Dan Enos, another not-so-great Miami coordinator. And all of a sudden, that offense looked a lot better with KJ Jefferson.
Steve, it's funny you mentioned that. I talked to a buddy of mine who's a coordinator in 4-year level, and he was like, you get rid of Enos, you bring an analyst up, and they have 530 yards offense.
Isn't that Kenny Guyton who played at Ohio State, who's the new coordinator there? The one thing about Sam Pittman, I like Sam. That's a real football coach. You better be careful if you're Arkansas. If you want to run that guy off, you try to find someone better that fits that program and area better than Sam. I like Sam. I would ride it out with them and just say, look, Sam, let's get this coordinator thing fixed out. But I like Sam Pittman. I just really am a fan of what he's done. And he's done a good job. He's had one bad year. And then last year they got ravaged by injuries. KJ Jefferson was knocked out for half the year. That changed their whole season. I don't believe Sam Pittman should be on any type of hot seat in Fayetteville. You know what, Coach, I would put in there? I put in Gundy. Gundy has rescued that season. You go back to early September, they're getting blown out at home by like South Alabama or something. But now they've discovered something with the Ollie Gordon, who got bottled up a little bit last week, still had a good game. And to win the last Bedlam, that is huge for the people of Oklahoma State. So I'd put him in my top 5.
Yeah, that's the guy we discussed yesterday that was out. That I had him right there.
but I just don't like Gundy. I think he's fucking shitbird. So
He's
anyway,
now 50. He's a man, or was. I don't know how old. He's probably
all right, bring up the QBs, Bailey. Bring up my QBs. I love when Steve and I argue QBs. Burrow's the best quarterback in the NFL. It's not even close. He's back. Trevor Lawrence, I still have Jesus and Sunshine mixed in one. That's Trevor Lawrence. I got him in there. Patrick Mahomes, dink and dunk. I'm going to keep him in there just because I want to keep the Queendom fan base on hook and lure. And then Jalen Hurts, he's turning the football over. I just don't see a lot of quarterbacks in the league being really good. So I'm just like, Jalen's going to stay in there. But C.J. Stroud's climbing the board. He's clearly better than Lamar Jackson. It's not even close.
That's for you. That's for you, Darnell.
I know.
But I mean, to be honest, I would take C.J. Stroud right now in Baltimore. I think Baltimore is a Super Bowl contender. I'll tell you that.
They're a Super Bowl contender right now.
No, they're not. They're not a Super Bowl contender right now.
Oh, I can't wait to see the other
right
ones.
now, Coach. I'm just telling you, both sides of the line of scrimmage, they're pretty damn good, Baltimore.
They are.
Now,
I got them as number
one.
one.
Get it done in January. That's a legitimate question. Okay,
Bailey, bring up my top 5 NFL. Here's my top 5 right now. Right now, I got the Ravens. Hey, I'm a realist, Steve. Right now, I think the Ravens are playing well. In 5 weeks, I don't think the Ravens will be in my top 5 in 5 weeks.
That is fair. Now let's go back to C.J. Stroud. I think he's got natural throwing ability. His anticipatory throws are elite. He threw this one ball in the back of the end zone to Tank Dell. That was absolute art form. And he has a good internal clock. They are building something. And with Stroud and Will Anderson, they have building blocks. Where Stroud lost me, and did you see this, guys? He talks about at the press, criminal justice, our system's unfair. And I'm thinking, where did this come from? Then it turns out his dad did a bunch of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, CJ, I know that's your dad, but here's the thing. And I know certain people can get upset. Don't give a chip. Criminals should be in jail. They should serve out their lifetimes. And I'm just going to say it right now. You want to clean up America, which has become a little dangerous. Bigger jails, more police, refund the police, and tougher DAs. CJ, I'm sorry, but your dad did the crime, and he must do the time. But you're having a great year. You're still my rookie of the year. Good. That's it.
Yeah. I think his dad, I don't know did he kill somebody in a taxi cab?
Well, it wasn't just petty theft. That's the thing. And I'm like, bro, I know that's your dad, but here's the problem. For the safety of everyone else in our community, I'd rather have him just serve out his time. Let's just kind of be honest about this thing.
Yeah, it's getting bad out here in the streets. I know that. The Eagles are Super Bowl returners. Smitty thinks they're going to play the Ravens. Where are you at? Are the Eagles still the team to beat, or what? I think the Bengals
find ways to win. Look, they're good. They're very good. I will say Dallas, I thought, played a really good, impressive game till the end, and it was quintessential Dak Prescott. The last 5 plays, Dak cannot take a sack. That why I said that. Now there goes the drive.
But was that his fault though? I mean, they hit him immediately.
You got to get rid of the ball
on that.
Yeah, but you got to go into the end zone. So you're not managing down or distance. You got to just say, if I feel any heat, just chuck it on the early downs. Dak, you got to get rid of that. And I get it. It was not great pass pro, but you got to know the situation. That internal clock has to be quick, Darnell, in that situation.
Yeah,
that's just my view.
It is hard. I feel like we always, and not you, but just the media in general, Dak gets he got to play flawless to not get any blame. To me, Dak was the best player on the field that day.
He was good. No, that was one of his better games. And Dallas showed that they're going to be an issue. I think Dallas is one of the most, every week that they win, they're the most overrated team. Every week they lose, they're the most underrated team. I think there's no balance to Dallas, but they have a great look. In any game that Dallas gets ahead, and then that front 7, specifically number 11, can just play one direction towards the quarterback, it changes their games. It does. It's like the old Colts with Freeney.
Yep.
When Freeney and Mathis can play from ahead, they were 25% better. It's the same thing, but to me, here's an interesting thing. I actually think Dallas misses having a guy like Zeke. They need kind of a tough inside runner. I've always said Pollard was one of these guys. Less is more. He's not built for that inside run game in between the 2 tackles on a consistent basis.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, which I call Whack Prescott, he is what he is. He threw the ball short because that's what he is. He comes up short. That's what he does.
Well, and by the way, another team, and I want to see them get better defensively. You know, I love them. Dan Campbell. The Lions are an ascending team if they could just not have these meltdowns like they did a couple of weeks ago. But as I said, they're on pace to win 12 to 13 games with Dan the Man Campbell.
Yeah, and then they'll get beat first round. I got to ask you. I mean, they're the Cowboys of the North.
They play. God,
they're the Cowboys of the North.
First of all, they're not in the playoffs. So let's look at the playoff seedings. What if they get a home game?
Yeah, they're the Cowboys of the North. I mean, they're going to do what they do. They're the Chargers of the North. They're by
the way, Justin Herbert, he's fallen off. Boy, he was bad Monday.
Oh, he's horrible. Got me 4 fantasy points.
I always argue with Mario, and Mario likes Justin because I think they're friends or they've taken a self. And I tell Mario, Herbert, you like him. He's had moments. He never comes through in the clutch. He doesn't win enough. And I'm just looking at his play. He's less impressive now than he was 2 years ago.
He's bad. I'm just telling you. Him and Josh Allen are the 2 most overrated freaks of nature we've ever seen play.
I'm off Josh Allen. His game has completely regressed.
Brian Dable leaving's hurt him. I'm just telling you.
He's just inconsistent though, because there's also been games this year Josh Allen looked amazing, but it's just like this. Like you just never know what Josh Allen you're going to get. Herbert, I don't know what's going on with Herbert, and you guys know I love Justin Herbert. I'm not going to just give up on him. He's still like for the rest of his career. I'm not going that far, but he's looking bad this year. I don't know what it is, but all quarterbacks for the most part has not been looking so hot for whatever reason. JB called it. Got to give it to you. But the quarterback play is not looking that hot, which is why I think it might be the first year in a long time that a non-QB may win the MVP award.
Who would that be right now? Give me a non-QB that would win the MVP right now.
So the names that come top of my head, 2 wide receivers. A.J. Brown's playing phenomenal. Phenomenal right now. I would have said Tyreek. Tyreek still, I know he didn't play the best last game, so that kind of took some points off. But overall, Tyreek has been playing amazing. So those are the 2 guys that comes to my mind. A defensive player is not going to win, unfortunately. So it is what it is.
CMC would have been, but they've lost games, and I don't know if he's fallen off the radar because it's hard as a running back. But he was having one of those years. I just don't know.
If Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards receiving and the Dolphins make the playoffs, I would argue he might get my vote if I had one.
I can't give a woman beater that vote, but I can.
That got to do with the price of tea in China. Good grief.
I can.
Chill, JB.
So here's the thing.
Oh, shit.
The thing is, here's the thing I got to say. I got to say this. The Miami Dolphins, can we just do a bottom 5 list real quick? And Steve's going to get out of here. And then, because Smitty, we got to end the show a little early today, unless you want to carry it. Because
that's perfect for me.
Nah. I got a flat tire.
I got shit going on. I was going to tell you the same thing, actually.
Nah, I got a flat tire. Here we go. The bottom 5 teams. I'm going to start at 5. All right. I'm going to put the Chargers there. They're just who they are. They're the Chargers. I think Staley needs to get fired soon. They're bad. They're a bad football team. I'm going to be honest.
Bottom 5.
Oh, just for clarity, you're saying the worst team in the NFL?
No, like my best. No, I'm talking about. We did our top 5 performing team. I want to put my bottom 5.
Performers. Got you. Performers. Got you.
Miami Dolphins. I'm going to have at 1. I believe they're the most overhyped team in football. They haven't beat a 500 team in 300 games or 300 days. No, 600 days. Anytime you get physical with Miami, they choke. The Giants. I mean, they are what they are. Daniel Jones is bad. And then I'm going to have to I'm so inconsistent with the Jets because at one point I'm like, damn, they might be good, even with no quarterback. But the Mormon Milf Hunter is just making that team so crippled that you just we went back a couple months ago. We said, hey, go get a veteran. Save the defense. You're wasting this defense. You're wasting a great wideout. And, he's just getting wasted, I believe. He hasn't done anything because the quarterback can't get him the ball. The Jets are in there. I got to put them in there. And then the Rams have just
Yeah.
It's been so inconsistent. We thought they were horrible, and then they come out and play well, and then they're back.
Well, that has to do with Matt Stafford's health, though. They're actually pretty good with Matt Stafford.
He's hurt. And then Seahawks, who I picked to win the West, you can't go get shellacked like that by a guy that throws for 180 yards in Lamar Jackson. I just don't get it.
Top 5 quarterback in the league. I mean, it makes sense.
They're so inconsistent. They're so inconsistent. Who's your top? Are the Miami Dolphins? Let me just ask you: Are they the most overhyped team in the NFL right now?
Look, as I told you a couple days ago, they're the late '80s, early '90s Houston run and shoot Oilers. They're great on a fast track with great weather. Come December, January, they're not mutters. And look, the record is the record. I like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins will still make the playoffs. I cannot believe, JB, you did not list the Patriots.
Oh, Patriots are horrible, though. I mean, they're not a team. They're not.
And Bill Belichick, as the GM, should be fired, and the GM may cost the head coach the job. Look at his drafts.
There's a report out there. Do you believe the report out there that he could be fired if he loses in Germany? There's no way.
I don't think it's completely far-fetched. If you I'll bring you the book on Saturday. Better to be feared. There was a lot of tension at the end of the Brady thing, and I didn't realize this, but the owner, Robert Kraft, had some very, very harsh feelings towards Belichick and his behavior towards Brady, where he forced him out. Because if it was up to Robert Kraft, that Tampa Bay run would have never happened. And Tampa 12 would have never happened without Bill Belichick. And
I don't see Gerard Mayo taking over. There's no way that Kraft has not. He has more loyalty than
no, but that's an interim situation, though. I
know, but
wouldn't it be ironic that my Indianapolis Colts ended the Bill Belichick era after all the hell he gave us over the years of me growing up and all those championships that Peyton Manning could have had if they didn't have to run into the Patriots and the scandals and Deflategate and watching the film. And for us to be the ones that end his career, man, it's kind of bittersweet, you know. I don't know.
It's funny. It's funny. Chris mentioned that because I was going to mention it as one of my funny things with Steve Kemp. I think Meek Mill is going to get Belichick fired.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought Bill was finished?
Steve, I'm going to leave it at this. If Belichick gets fired by Kraft this year during the season, I lose all respect for Kraft.
Well, look, does Bill Belichick deserve to at least finish out the year? I guess, but man, that Patriot offense could not play dead. They couldn't roll over and play dead. They couldn't play a mannequin at Macy's. They have no speed. They have no explosion. Mac Jones, I think it's a bad rap a little bit. He literally threw to much better players at Alabama than he is now.
He does.
He had a better coach too in Nick Saban. So,
hey, Steve.
Saban and Belichick, they're from the same tree. I mean, you know.
Yeah, Steve. I broke this down before I let you go. I broke this down. I don't think Mac Jones and Tua are very different at all. I think if you swap those teams, you're going to see what we're seeing.
If you gave Mac Jones that situation in Miami, he'd be very good.
I don't see a big difference. They both have average arms. They're both average athletically. They're not going to move around and run around all over the park. They're going to sit there. They're going to throw the ball on time. They're going to try to if Mac had those athletes, I think they're very similar in skill set. I don't think there's a huge discrepancy. I don't know why people can't understand that. They're very similar in everything they do, skill set wise. So I think Mac Jones is getting a little short into the stick here in New England.
They have no ability to separate outside. Just look at their roster. Irving Fryer ain't walking through that door. Stanley Morgan ain't walking through that. In fact, Deion Branch ain't even walking through that door. I'm just telling you that they're the worst wide receiver room in the league. They have a bunch of 3 and 4s. They don't have a 1 or 2. They have a bunch of 3 and 4s that are being trotted out there, and I'm thinking, Bill, this is on you. You're the GM.
Devontae Parker is their 1.
Washout in Miami, right? I'm just telling you, it's look, Mac has a chance to be a decent quarterback. What's happening now, I don't think necessarily fair to him.
Hey, I just want you to walk out and drop the mic. Is Patrick Mahomes the most overrated quarterback of all time? Yes
if
or
you
no?
say he's the greatest right now, in that context, he would be overrated. In that context, if you're saying right now it's him and Montana and Brady, I'd be like, nah.
Anyone with an ounce of common sense, though, respectfully to everybody who watches football, none of those people would suggest that right now, today, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest or even a top 3, top 4, top 5 greatest quarterback of all time. It makes
those
zero
are the
sense.
same people that think LeBron's better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. As Logan Roy would say, you are not serious people.
But at least, listen, I agree with you, but at least LeBron has a 21-year sample size. Patrick Mahomes, if he retired today, it's what, year 6? What is it, year 6?
It is. Look, he's the best or the most successful of this era. But it is hard to deny what Coach JB has saying. There's a lot of shovels. There's a lot of jets, a lot of pop passes. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't see a lot of 25-yard shots into the end zone. I mean, Andy Reid has more plays from the goal line that involve a tight end, some sort of shovel pass. I mean, he's creative, but it does kind of give you a false sense of what is really taking place if you actually watch the games.
He doesn't have any weapons, though, too, other than Kelsey. Is that fair?
Shut up!
Is that fair?
I'm tired of hearing that shit.
I'm saying, is that fair? I'm saying, outside of Kelsey, who is his number 1 wide receiver?
Travis Kelsey's better than
that's
any
Kelsey. That's one guy. I'm
football.
saying, outside of Kelsey, who does he have?
No, it doesn't matter. I can say that about every quarterback in the goddamn league.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not defending. Ask you a question.
No, man. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Travis Kelsey's better than all those dudes, even with the shot.
I'm saying, if you only got Kelsey and he's getting fucking double teamed at the line, who's stepping up for the shit? I'm just asking you a question.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just
That
saying.
is true. Is Rice a young player? Sky Moore.
Let me ask you this. He had Tyreek Hill and all them dudes. He had all them dudes and Tyreek Hill.
That's why there's no deep ball. That's why he has to dip and dunk. But they're still winning that way. So you can't really be mad
talking about the roster. But why are we talking about the loaded roster they had when he had all those dudes and still had the same Super Bowl performances? Like, why?
Well, hold on. The one against Tampa Bay, their offensive line was all banged up. I mean, he was running for his life, Coach. Come on.
I mean, still, he had those guys. So what? My point is, there's going to be an excuse every year for the guy. Every year. There's going to be
the only reason why I brought that up, you guys mentioned that we're not seeing any long, 25-yard pass down the field. I think part of it is just the weaponry that he had. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill anymore. When he had Tyreek, we saw the ball going down 40 yards down the field, but he doesn't have that anymore.
Yeah, but Smitty, if you look at Tyreek Hill's last year in Kansas City, they ran a lot of short, shallow crosses and comebacks. His average yards per catch was actually kind of strikingly low. Dude, check his stats his last year, because I remember watching it and go, man, they're not actually running a lot of vertical shots for Tyreek.
They don't. He can't throw a dig route to save his life. I haven't never seen him throw a dig route in 6 years.
But he can shovel, but he can't dig. Oh!
Love it.
I'll be there all Saturday.
All right, let's go. Hey, Steve, I got a football palooza weekend. I got Saturday, college with Steve Kim. Sunday, I got my boys coming over. We're going to do NFL. Jerry in here? Yep, Jerry's in here. Come through, Jerry. We are going to dig and dug with the Queendom fan base. We are going to get it done. I'm going to do beef back ribs, Steve. I got to go get
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, beef back ribs. I'll do some other things for you to bring out your Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I want to try to eat before 12:30 because I think the Miami offense will have me losing my appetite. So, yeah, that's good. Smitty, you coming down? Are you allowed, or are you going to bed and bath this weekend?
I would come down.
Oh, so you're not? Okay.
But I'm moving. I'm moving this weekend.
You're moving. Okay.
So I have a legit reason why I can't come. So, but y'all have fun without me.
December.
We'll see.
All right,
Steve,
fellas. I'll see you Saturday.
I'm headed from here. Steve, I'm gonna go play golf right now with a couple guys like John Rahm and some major golfers. So I'm just gonna smoke cigars and get drunk. I'm not gonna swing at all. And then I'm gonna go straight to Eric Weddle and give his team a pregame speech for the playoffs tomorrow. And then I'm headed back home. See Ash. I haven't seen Ash. I know you're willing. I know you miss Ash. Ash misses you. And Steve Kim hates Ash, by the way. He wears over the ugliest sweats possible because he knows Ash is just going
to get slobber all over my left leg. God, dog. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. I'll see you this weekend.
All right. Later, guys.
Peace out, Steve. Have a good one. JB, we got to go early today, man. You got to go. I got shit to do. It's my man. Real quick, man. Cut this off for me, Bailey or somebody, Felipe. Happy birthday to my brother Julian Jackson, Jew Jack, my Ball State brother, my trenches, my squad homie, my dog for life, man. Happy birthday to my guy, man. I had to give him a shout out. And look, y'all got to change that name on there. It should not say Indy. Y'all need to spell out Independence and put fucking Kansas on there, because we all know the real and only Indy is Indianapolis, Naptown, point blank period. When I first met you and you were saying Indy, I was like, damn, like Indianapolis, like you from Indy? I was so confused. No one calls them Indy.
I would be willing to bet that Independence, Kansas, right now is probably more popular than Indianapolis.
No, it's not. It's
because of Netflix. Because of what I did. No one has
ever been an Independence,
Kansas.
Because
of what I did there. Because of what I did there. Because of what I did there. Kansas is more important than Indianapolis.
You know what Peyton Manning and Reggie Miller did for Indianapolis?
They didn't do anything. You know where Reggie Miller's from? Cali.
I know where he's from. I know. Yeah. It's like Magic is from Michigan, but he's became an LA resident, motherfucker. Reggie is a Naptown legend now. He spent 18 years there.
You know who's from French Lick?
Larry Bird.
Not from Naptown.
It's Indiana, though. He down the street.
Hey, it's been a good week so far. It's crazy right now. I'm all over the place. I got a lot going on. I saw a house yesterday that's off the chain. I gotta see if I can get it. So
You scared. You scared to buy. You ain't gonna buy it. You
scared to buy it. I got a pool, got a huge backyard, the dog, it's got turf already laid out. It's got a hell of a full on like cooking area, like everything. Everything's already there. It's like, man.
Hey, bro, live for today. Don't talk about it, be about it. Tomorrow not promised. Yes, they already have it. If you want it, go get it. Live for today. That's what my shirt is all about.
But I gotta the yard's number one for me, so I like the yard, but then I gotta build on it. Because what I would do is, I'll give you a little insight. I'll build a studio in the backyard and a cigar lounge.
Now you own.
I got all kind of room. So I build the lounge. So you come out, you rent the apartment down in the hood, and then you just drive up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that might be something right there.
We do a studio right here we make a studio outside. I have a whole thing. Then I'll have a whole thing. I'm gonna have to make a theater too. I don't have enough space. This house doesn't have it. See, I'm giving up a theater at the house. I'm giving up a full cigar bar and lounge I made. I'll make a better one out here. I'll make a better one, but still.
You don't need the theater per se. You don't need the theater. You could get a damn projector in the backyard and we can just do it. You know what I mean? Like there's other ways to do it.
We're in Arizona.
We had a projector screen on the back and we get little seats and we can watch the boxing fight in the backyard looking at the damn projector screen. We can make some shit happen. Arizona is I love Arizona. I would live there for real. I'm dead at if shit made sense, I would not be opposed to living in Arizona. Great food, great things to look at when you're out and about. Beautiful homes. A lot of opportunity, and it's still right next door to LA. If I need to go to LA, it's a quick 45-minute flight or a quick 5-hour drive, whatever you want to do. Vegas is right there. Everything is still kind of right here. So, I don't know, JB. You get a studio out there, PrizePicks, give us 7 figures. I don't know.
Might have to do something. We got a lot of cats out here. We can do a lot of interviews. We can bring cats out here. A lot of cats out here. Bring them in the studio. Hey, what are you looking at? I'm curious. Jerry and I are both on the same thing. You mentioned a lot of good things to look at out here. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, the view. Look behind JB, the mountain, the beautiful sky, the houses. I've had Airbnbs in Arizona. The homes are amazing. The construction of the homes, the backyards, the pools. Like, it's a lot of beautiful things to look at. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, my wife knows about that. I'm gonna bring it to Arizona.
Interesting.
What was y'all talking about? I'm confused as hell.
Interesting. All right. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We got Matt McChesney.
Yeah.
Jeff Nadu.
Yeah.
Michelle may be coming on, give us some Michigan news.
Bring Michelle on. Bring Michelle on. Y'all, get some insight.
Why you do that?
I said, what?
Baby, take us away before we get in trouble. Baby, take us away before we get in trouble. Much love. Pound that like. We should have 800 likes. Palm the like button. Peace.
We switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the games we missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in